the fan thing going on. Oh, that's right. Since John and Jamie are here now, I will say this at the very beginning. So for one, the other three heard it already, but I've been running into an issue where one of the fans on my GPU on my laptop are going bad. So I have a temporary fix, and I've kind of stress tested it over the past couple days, and it seems to be working fine. But if you hear a really, really loud beeping noise, and then I disappear from Discord and Roll20, it's because my computer shut down. However, I think I've got a fix with some sewing machine oil, and I've also got a fan blowing on it to keep it cool. Yeah, so that's why there's that like very quiet ambient fan blowing noise coming through my mic, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't hear it.
Okay, well that's good. That makes me feel good. All right. Second thing, this is actually related to the game, like as it stands in the campaign as a whole. Just because Sarah brought it up, and it was actually a really good thing because I kept forgetting to talk about it. But she was like, "How long does one of these last? Does like a campaign last?" And obviously, a campaign can be like as short or as long as the DM sort of determines that it could be. And I'm letting all of you know right now with the very basic planning and outlining that I've done of the story as a whole. The campaign could very easily go from levels, 2, which is what you are right now, all the way up to level 20. Like, that is...
Ooh.
And that's just something that I have ideas for each one of those tiers and layers of play. That are all interconnected and they all work together. So that was the biggest thing that I forgot to say, like during our session 0 where we talked about it. I didn't even think to mention that because in my head, that's the assumption that I think most players have, is that it's going to be one of those. And, I understand, and I already said this, that if life gets crazy and you need to step away, I'm definitely, okay with that. And I'm understanding of that. I'm not going to be upset with you because your life is crazy and you don't have time for a game anymore. That'd be ridiculous and silly. So if that ever does happen, I have my own friends who can always not step in as your character, but step in to sort of fill your space. Or the group is big enough, 5 people, that if one person is gone for 3 or 4 weeks, 4 people is still a very sizable group, still manageable. You might have to hire a couple NPCs to come around with you to help protect you, but other than that, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there so that way it was, canonical and it was part of the mythos,
Okay, gotcha.
I don't want to, lead anybody on or think that it's like, oh, this is like a level 1 to 5 thing, and then it's done.
We're gonna be level 2 for 36 years.
Yeah, that's the and just based off the math of what I deem is proper, you should be about level 3, and I'd say about a year.
Oh my god. Don't threaten us.
Don't threaten it. Could you imagine? That'd be terrible.
Oh my god.
All right, so yeah, I just wanted to say that because I just felt like that was, I don't know, it was just something that I wanted everybody to be on the same page about, because that's an important thing, because time investment and all that good stuff. Okay, so with that, one swig of water later, without any other things, we will go ahead and pick up where we left off. So last we left off, our group of our motley crew of hired employees of the Thieves Guild, Uncle Eamon's friend as they're called in New Vertalka. All of you have been, through one way or another, whether for your information, your wit, your ferocity, or this untapped potential of wild, chaotic magic, all of you have been hired in one way or another to investigate for clues and find the lost city of Nibiru, a city belonging to the indigenous people of Efera that is said to withhold wealth and treasure and knowledge more so than anywhere else in Efera. Obviously coveted by many different people, all of you working specifically for the Thieves Guild, and by that extension, Jalissa, who you have found over the past couple days to, well, be rather callous. And some may use the word selfish in getting what she wants as soon and as fast as possible. So, you all found a clue that would lead you to Sunken City Bay, a pirate cove that somewhere near the city should have the tower that leads to Baramici's final resting place, which apparently has the next clue leading to the lost city of Nibiru. So all of you arrive in this Sunken City Bay. You can see the city underneath you as you sail in, and you you get well integrated with the local culture. After meeting with the Slab King, this large dragonborn individual with navy blue scales, Zelex, he wants you all to prove yourselves in a fighting pit, and you all do so almost unscathed, where nobody is hurt too much, but one of your companions is petrified by a cockatrice. Luckily, you carefully carry her out of the arena, departing with the friend that you had made to here for the time being. All of you return to Zelex, the Slab King, and he informs you that you're free to leave the city now, and his guards and servants will not pursue you. But he did give you fair warning that there was a collection of cloaked figures who were also looking for looking for something located outside of the ruins, or outside of Sunken City Bay. All of you decide before you head out, you need to rest, and for one, you need to wait for Sayla to be de-thawed, de-stonified. So, you all head to the Squatting Lion Inn, a place that has rooms for rent, and you're not sure if they're meant to be rooms or if they just happen to be someplace with something that looks like a bed. It's not exactly the most comfortable, but you spend your time there, not without some incident, as Cyrus gets carried away by a big brutish individual and told to gamble using loaded dice in order to win him, apparently something that he really wanted. Well, Cyrus does win, and there's a small moment of panic as this gnomish man sitting across the table from him starts to inquire about Cyrus's doings here and the dice that he has, asking him to roll one more time. Luckily, Cyrus is saved in that moment by a big, strong barbarian friend, Alec, who comes down and pretends to be some type of servant to him to carry him off and save him, per se. Cyrus still wins that feather of an angel, and the two of them exit, not without being confronted by Bez, a big, strong, fat human, bare-chested and tattooed, bald with a big mustache. He wants that angel feather, but, well, a fight breaks out behind the city, and the fight ends with Bez dead on the ground. You loot his body, picking up 50 gold and a +1 dagger, and you find that this individual belonged to the Tarkirian Trading Company, who had a brand on the side of his body underneath his arm. You mark that up to chance, and you return to the room. And you enter the room and sort of slump down to sleep, exhausted and frightened. Some time passes. You sleep. There is some communing with patrons, and eventually you awake in the morning. So, what I would like to do now is I would like to go to Sayla. You remember the fight so vividly. Dashing and dodging, firing arrow after arrow, slashing with short swords, until that one feathery, lizard-like creature came up to you and bit you. You felt this type of toxin, this poison, begin to pump and rush through your veins, and you tried to flex to eject the poison, this venom from you, but you couldn't. You felt your feet and legs and ankles begin to petrify, and you tried even harder. And the last thing you saw was your arrow flying towards this manticore as the stone enveloped your face. And there was nothing. Nothing. All you remember is a shroud of darkness, and then that's it. But now, there is this blinding white light hitting your face as you can hear this noise of stone cracking. You try to move, and you feel like you've been sleeping for days, where your body is like lazy and atrophied, and you try and move, but it's just so hard, and eventually you hear a large and at this moment, everyone else in the room with her, you look and you can see this large chunk of stone fall off of Selah and crash onto the ground. This almost like a terracotta statue breaking and falling apart, and like a lizard shedding its skin, you see Selah begin to crack out of this stone and eventually become free. Eventually, Selah, you kind of have to balance yourself as you're standing on two stone frozen legs, trying to, like you're surfboarding almost, just kind of keep your balance, and eventually cracking away at the stone this early morning, and eventually breaking it free. You are unpetrified. So all of you can see her going through that in the current moment, as you all are like shocked awake by the loud crash of stone.
It's early morning?
It's, maybe 9, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm still cursing the manticore as I come to life, and I'm looking around like, what the fuck? Where am I? Okay,
Morgana
something
will
happened.
get up and offer a hand to help her balance.
My my bag is my bag is on you somewhere. Either on
I
the arm or
probably
the
would have
shoulder.
moved that when you went to sleep.
I was supposed to say, this is mine now.
So luckily, as you were breaking from the stone, there was nothing hanging on you, no items displayed on you. You were able to break freely without a fear of being used as a coat rack or something of the sort.
I'm just imagining the animation of breaking out of the stone from called dude, I just had it's Dr. Stone.
Oh.
An anime.
Yeah.
Just imagining that.
So all of you see Selah breaking out. You try and help her as best you can to sturdy. It's morning. There is a small bit of sunlight peering through these very shanty-style windows in your room. What would you all like to do?
Just before we move on, I want to say that while Morganix was finishing out her watch and she was more or less alone, first of all, she cried her eyes out.
Oh, shoot.
And she wrote a couple of things which may come up later, but for now they're just tucked away in her bag.
Okay. Very cool. Very good.
Just wanted to get that out there.
Would Al notice signs of crying?
Possibly. She's not
crying?
even bothering to hide it.
Bella's passive perception of 13. What do you think?
Maybe you might see like a small puffiness to the cheeks. It's right. Been a while, so it's maybe she was just rubbing her eyes a little bit harder when she was waking up. You're not exactly sure because it was a while.
Yeah, all right. Al's not gonna say anything. Just gonna look a bit confused.
So Morganix is gonna offer a hand to Selah, kind of tentatively, wait to see if she's gonna hit somebody or not.
Selah?
Am I still like stone feet, or did those finally break apart too?
You're finally, as you're starting to work on it a little bit more, it's odd. It's like you were trapped inside of a Selah-shaped vase, where when you were originally being enveloped, it was like turning your flesh to stone, but it seems as though as time has passed, the stone is like ejected out of your skin like an exfoliating face rub, And eventually now, as you're pulling it off, it's just like a shell around you. And with a couple of blunt end of your dagger, you're able to crack the stone and tear it off.
So basically, I just shed my skin like a snake.
You really did, yeah.
Weird.
Taylor, how do you feel?
Tired, confused, and really, really irritated.
Did she get the benefits of a long rest?
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Oh, cool.
You're still drowsy, because you were stone.
Oh yeah, a long rest.
Yeah, don't forget to restore your hit points or any spell slots or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I would get that or not.
We are currently the squatted lion took rest and shelter here for the night. We were given permission to leave. We wanted to make sure you were no longer stone before we took off.
Right. Could we have done that outside of the city in case, the guy dies and somebody takes his place?
Yeah, don't even start. I tried. I was overruled.
Thought it would be safer here.
Oh. Okay, then. Our
Disagree,
definitions of
but
safer are
whatever.
very different. Anyways, what else did I miss? Anything else of importance?
Nope, nothing at all.
I loosely explained what I know.
So, Cyrus responded very, very quickly. Can I do perception on that?
Like, do you mean like insight? You want to see like if he
Or
was...
insight, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check.
That was a really quick response.
When he says that, Alec is going to try really hard to not look at him. Just keep it.
Just act even more suspicious.
Oh.
Oh.
Just for the heck of it, Jamie, or Cyrus, I would like you to make a deception check. Just for the heck of it. Let's see what happens.
Give me just 2 secs.
It's not like he
Watch him
normally
get a
rolls
one.
natural ones or anything.
How dare you?
Oh yeah, even if he had a
Okay.
1, he would.
Yeah. It was a quick response, but you're not sure if that's just because his senses are a little more heightened because it seems like he's not doped out on alcohol yet. He seems just rather just like highly alert, at least to you right now.
8. He's good.
Now it is morning, and we be off.
Probably a good idea.
He
Right.
did warn us that somebody else is looking for something outside of the city. We just don't know what.
I'm not going to comment.
Okay.
Oh, did you say that, or Vera, she told us that we could buy items from here as well? That was the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, she did say that there would be some items that you would be able to purchase while you were here.
Perhaps it would be wise of us to see how much a healing potion or 2 would cost before we go out.
I'm broke.
What do I even?
I mean, if
Just
I had
kidding. I have
money.
9 gold pieces. Pretend Alec never even spoke.
Yeah, you and I pooled our money before
Right.
we left to get the one.
Yeah, and it was more than I could afford. I only have 66 left.
JK, she said nothing. Well, if we are ready, then let's go.
Pack
Alright.
up and leave.
All right.
I do that.
So you grab your small amount of belongings that you do have.
Thanks for rubbing it in there.
So you take those and you head out into the main like meeting dining room area, and you can see that there is definitely less people than there were last night who were currently eating and drinking, but there's still a sizable crowd for early in the morning. But pirate towns, what have you.
Yeah.
So the same gentleman who was working at the counter with the rooster is still sitting on his shoulder, the blood all over his apron, bottle of some type of weird grog-like mixture just sitting on the table as he's kind of like wiping the counter down, and he sort of like jeers at just kind of makes a weird noise at all of you as you make your way out, spits on the counter and rubs his spit into the wood top. Seems like he's been working on the same place for a while as he sets the rag down and takes another swig. And as all of you begin to exit, that hen sitting on his shoulders just squeals at you as you leave. So, you make your way out.
As we're leaving, does anything outside look suspicious?
Like outside the
Dead bodies?
make a perception check. Okay. So, as you're going outside, you don't hear or see anything related to dead bodies this early in the morning. Really more so what you hear is there are like whisperings of people as you're just walking through the tavern and then out. You can hear a couple of people talking. You hear them mention something about like cloaked figures leaving a couple days ago. I what they were talking about, but you just barely caught that.
It's awesome.
Okay. So do you guys want to just head out of the city into the jungle?
Yeah, I guess. On the way, I want to talk to Cyrus for a second. Cyrus, can I have the book back?
Oh Christ, yes, please.
All right, so you pull the book out of a bag, and you can feel those like black tendrils sort of squirm around on your fingers as you hand it back to him.
I take those chains I got from Efera, and I wrap them around. Do my best to lock it pretty well. What should I do with the key?
Morgana holds out her hand.
I hand it over.
All right. I will pocket it.
Okay, so yeah, you.
And
tuck
oops,
it in
sorry.
the pocket. No, I was just saying she tucks it in the pocket.
Yeah.
Since this was like in plain view of everybody, can I like look around and make sure nobody's like paying too much attention to the fact that we just chained up a book?
Make a perception check.
Oh. Good point.
Okay, so you are moving around and walking northward towards the exit of the city. A sunken city bay is not walled in. People are free to come and leave as they go by sea, but it seems as though the thickness of the jungle serves its own purpose of a wall. And as you're heading there, you take a look around, just trying to be as sly as you can, knowing what type of people might be watching. So just like as if you were taking in the beautiful morning mist and sunrise, you can see there are a few people. Probably what their job is just to keep an eye out, for any type of person that might be doing something a little shady that they might be able to get in, but it's just maybe one or two. As they look at you, there's 5 of you, and you can see them kind of sneer and go to an alley. But there is one person who seems to have been... So as you're walking and you see those other 2 sort of go into an alley knowing that there might be too many of you for them to do anything about, you see one person who was trying to hide behind a building and they're peeking around and the 2 of you make eye contact. and you see this halfling woman just sort of stare at you, and as the two of you make eye contact, she tries to like turn and run into an alleyway, and she ends up bumping into somebody, this Goliath, and he's just, what the fuck is your problem? She's like, get the fuck out of my way, and she moves past him and just runs down the alleyway.
Is it the same halfling that was on the crew?
I don't believe Sayla saw her, so
Oh.
it is a halfling woman, but I think Cyrus was the only person who saw that one. So maybe.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. I
She
just said so
turns
maybe.
and she looks at the other. She's like, someone was just watching us, so we need to get moving and get out of here.
Pick up the pace.
Okay.
I'm like mega paranoid now.
Oh,
Okay.
Al is just unaffected.
Just focusing on chaining up the book, slapping a
Yep.
lock on, and keying it off and handing it to Morganix. So, all of you make your way. It's only from where you were at, maybe a 15-20 minute walk. And eventually the buildings start to be a little more sparse and a little more run down, even though the ones closest to the sea were also pretty run down. But these ones closer to the jungle, they're overgrown trees and moss and vines sort of overtaking the buildings. And eventually the city, almost in a moment, transforms from overgrown buildings to thick, dense, almost impassable, this type of like rainforest where there is multiple layers of canopied trees and this ever sort of mist that just sort of hangs around near the top of the canopy, but still leaving the bottom like 10 or 15 feet fairly clear for all of you to walk through. So let's go ahead and get that, and then that, and that. So, you all begin to make your way through the jungle. Now, I would like to know, you have a general direction just based off of the map that tower that was indicated on there was northwest of the sunken city. So you have a pretty good idea. I just want to know who's leading that sort of expedition through the jungle and trees.
I
think
think
we all
Alec
know.
would be
Yeah.
leading the way.
Probably.
Like very comfortable.
Okay. So is anybody else proficient in survival to assist her?
I don't think I am.
Would Sayla count in that or no?
It just depends if you are proficient in survival.
I have
So
no
like
idea.
on your character sheet if it's bubbled in. No one? Okay.
Survive. Nope, not me. Yep, nope.
Okay.
Survive. I do not have proficiency in
So, Alec, you're much more used to the northern regions, which is a little more forest, a little less rainforest. So you can go ahead and make a survival check. Just a flat roll.
Hey, just kidding.
Hey, all right.
Nice.
So, you make your way sort of climbing over these large roots that are just sort of uprooting off the ground, maybe some 5 feet where you kind of have to like leap over, climb atop, and sort of slide down like they're on these mini walls.
Gersh.
But you climb over all of these branches, these vines, even some like small stone structures are buried deep within the mud and overcome by roots. It seems as somebody tried to establish something here and it failed. But rather flawlessly, you're able to make your way through this, the dense thicket and sort of these sloshing like muds and small rivers that make their way through this rainforest. However, eventually there is one point where you get to where you're able to see it, but there is what looks to be maybe like waist-high, sort of muddy water. All of you being normal sized, it'd be fairly easy to traverse through. You'll just get a little dirty. You could spend some extra time to find a way around, but the quickest path to it seems where you want to go is through this the muddy river. Would all of you like to go or find another way around?
Can I find like a big fallen like stick or branch and see how deep it goes?
Yeah, easy enough. You can sort of snap one off of a tree and you dip it down and it goes, 1 feet, 2 feet, and then it stops about 2.5, 3 feet.
While she's doing that, can I try to find a slug?
Yeah, make a survival check.
Okay. Oh man.
You swear you see this lovely like brown and green slug, and as you go to grab it, it's just a clump of dung that you just
Oh
slam your hand into.
Oh man, it's all over my glove.
I'd kind of been.
Sorry. Go. Good.
I'd be kind of. I hate every minute of this, so I'd be kind of relaying everything to Alec, being like, "Is this water safe? Are the leeches? Christ, I hate leeches."
Probably.
I was just gonna
Sailor's
shrug.
She's
I was just gonna
Sorry.
I would like to grab another stick and just as we wade through the water, because if it's the fastest way, it's probably the best way to go. To make sure there's nothing that's going to jump out and like eat us, can she just kind of like a walking stick, like move the water out in front of her to make sure there's nothing there? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Make sure there's no creepy crawlies under the water. Okay, so yeah, so is everybody gonna traverse through the swampy, muddy water?
Sailor's not gonna like it, but if that's the way Alec's going,
Okay.
Yeah,
wait,
Morgana is willing.
How? Wait. So, wait. Is this? Wait, hold on. This is. Wait. What kind of body of water is this again?
It's like a muddy river.
How far across is the river?
Maybe 15, 20 feet.
Oh man. Can't remember how how you can tell how far you can.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's see.
I can't remember.
Let's
It's
see.
something
Yeah,
about your strength modifier.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's the rules for long jump and high jump are.
Oh my god,
So-
trouble. He's like,
So-
on my back.
For long jump, you cover a number of feet equal to your strength score, and if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump.
Oh, hey, I think I might be able to jump it.
I would not be able to jump it.
Oh no, I wouldn't make it quite all the way.
Yeah, because it's 15, 20 feet, so Alec
Yeah,
would be
I
able
know.
to jump it, but she's probably the one who enjoys it the most.
Yeah.
What? Is there anything like? I don't know, like carve off a piece of bark from a tree, and
Yeah,
like
sure.
I don't know, like create like a tiny raft. I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
if you wanted to spend a day collecting
Yeah.
wood and vines, you probably could make a small raft, but
That would be kind of useless though.
Fair warning, the women will leave you.
Sailor will not allow this.
As this is happening, I'm just like tucking my pants into my boots, being like, "Fucking Christ!" Sorry, there's fireworks here.
okay.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna wade through this. Al is gonna hold his bag above his head when he does it. So, you know.
Okay, that's a good idea, yeah.
Get those books wet.
Alrighty, so all of you sort of pulling your valuable items, holding them above your head, anything that is very special.
Oh,
As
and
you-
the revolver too.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's an important
Get
thing. Alrighty. So, excuse me. What I would like all of you to do as you begin to make your way in and through the mud, for one, Alec, I'd like you to make another survival check.
Okay.
And then the
Oh.
rest of you, I would like you to make athletics checks. There is a current, and because of the mud, it kind of clings to you. It's not very difficult, but you just gotta kind of muscle your way through.
I'm
Bad, not
proficient
bad.
in that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, oh man.
Okay. So, Alec, it's fairly easy for you being just a strong individual. The current doesn't matter much to you, and although you're not used to this particular biome, there are things that are similar to you here. But you can see that your other companions, as you turn around and look, you can see Al is fine and Sayla is fine, but you can see Morganix and Cyrus. The current begins to cling onto them, and the mud starts to build up higher and higher on their chest, and you can see them start to like almost on like a wet floor, start to slip and trip just a little bit more as the two of them just kind of and they slip and fall and begin to sink into the mud, and you cannot see where they're at. Cyrus and Morganix, I'd like you to make another athletics check to see if you can sort of steady yourself and pull yourself back up after being
I thought it was
covered.
only like 2.5 feet tall. Or deep.
Yeah, it is, but you kind of slipped and
damn.
fell and you're being pulled by the current. So you're not like, it's not like you're like flat on your back on the floor of it.
I yell at them to find their footing.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you can see their arms like flail up, and the two of you try and push yourselves into the ground and push yourselves up, but anytime you do, your hands just sink into the like river sediment bed below you, sort of sleeking your hands deeper and deeper into this mud as you try and pull
I
up.
backtrack to help them.
Yeah, can I too?
Yeah, sure. Okay, you guys go ahead and make two more, or each of you make an athletics check, but this time with advantage.
Al just doesn't know what to do.
Go.
Oh. Okay,
Hey.
very cool. So, Sayla, you didn't have to worry about it, but I appreciate the 21 anyway.
Oh.
So you helping up Cyrus and Alec, you helping up Morganix. With your help, you're able to lift them up, and they are just covered head to toe in this thick mud, and you can see that there are these small little like leech-like bugs just covering their faces and skin, and you pull them up and sort of throw them onto the side of the river, sort of trying to peel off and pluck off some of these leeches. What are you guys doing? So you just threw them on to the side of the riverbed, out of the muddy, thick water.
I would like to get out of the water as well.
Yeah, okay, so you throw them up and you just follow right after, climbing up out.
I'd like to look for like a really big leaf to like wipe my face and
Okay.
pull this shit off.
Yeah,
What
so
are
you
the odds it's poisonous?
find this big fan leaf and just sort of scrape it off your face, just trying to make sure that there are no more bugs in any type of secret places. You check all the, like, your elbow pits, your armpits, like, just making sure nothing is anywhere on you. You are thick and slick with mud, but your face is cleared off for the most part.
Man.
Morganix is having a bad day.
Yeah.
She doesn't even say anything. She just looks resigned to the fact that her life sucks now.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm just getting as much mud off as I can, and I'm just like, fucking leeches. And I'm like heating my hands with like fireball just to like kind of burn them off of me. It's like fucking things.
Yeah, and anytime you reach up that heat, you hear this like squeal as they sort of burn and die, and you can see there are like these little like scars over your face from where these like razor sharp like super small teeth were just sort of grinding into your skin to suck off that blood.
The heat helps.
Yeah. So you've traversed your way across this muddy river and you continue forward. Luckily, Alec, as you were going through, you didn't hit anything. It seems as though the mud is really only home to leeches. As you sort of pull up the stick, there is, luckily because of the stick, there is this one huge leech that is maybe 6 or 7 inches long and about 4 inches wide, that kind of like sucked onto the branch, and you just kind of pull it out of the mud and throw it back in the mud, and getting everybody back up there. So
Al got any leeches on him?
Luckily, most of you didn't slip or fall at all, and as you can see
Yeah.
that there were a couple trying to cling on to your pants or something like that, but they weren't able to get through and actually make contact with the skin. So you have to kind of brush a
Okay.
few off, pull a couple off, but nothing sucking on your face or your neck or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so making your way across that, finally, success. Definitely not clean. I would like Alec to go ahead and make another survival check to continue your way through the jungle.
Oh no! We're lost
Okay.
now.
Okay, so, Alec, you continue to move, but you realize in your mad dash to try and pick up Morgonix and Cyrus that you've lost your bearing. Of course, you know, of course, as you keep telling yourself, you know cardinal direction. You know north, you know east, southwest. You can tell by where the sun is in the sky. That's the best case. You know you woke up at just past dawn, almost noon, so the sun should be directly in the sky. And as you look up, the canopy is so thick and dense, it almost is like dusk in here, where there's no real light anywhere, just sort of shimmerings through the top of the canopy every once in a while when the trees shake a little bit and some little leaves fall and hit the ground. And you can see that as you continue to try and head best you can, there is that mist. That mist, the further and further you get into this thick, dense jungle, it just starts to envelop all of you more. At first, it is just, maybe 10, 15 feet above you, but it slowly starts to sink down, and instead of just being in front of you, you look behind you, and it's all around you. It just begins to envelop all of you. How close are you guys staying together? Are you leaving distance between each other, or are you kind of like, all right, everybody, let's hold hands?
Somewhere between.
I think we would be
Morgonix would probably be staying within like 5 feet of Alec.
Okay. Everybody else kind of staying clumped near Alec?
Maybe a few more feet away. Al is, like a little slower, looking around the fauna and life like that.
Very
Other
cool.
animals. Speaking of, can I just see what type of animals or plants are around?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check as the fog slowly begins to envelop and cluster around you a little bit more. Okay.
Average roll.
It is hard. You do catch a couple of these dragonflies sort of fly by past you. These huge, maybe like a 6-inch wingspan.
Ooh.
And they have these beautiful green and purple translucent wings. As they sort of coast and float by you, 2 of them a pair, sort of swiveling in a clockwork fashion, or not a clockwork, like a figure 8 fashion around each other as they fly past and through you. But that's really the only thing that you see. There's no deer or elk or anything like that, except as you're looking around. Everyone else is kind of staying close and maybe a little bit more nervous, perhaps cautious. You sort of looking around, trying to take in your surroundings as best you can. Looking towards the front, where everyone is, you catch up a little bit with them, and you can see this almost blue glow. And you're the first person to see it, maybe 20, 25 feet off in front of you. And Alec, you're the first one to notice it. But Alec, you hear Alec go, "Ooh," and you can start to see it too. It cannot be more than a foot or 2 off the ground, and it's close to the ground, and it's just slowly getting larger, coming towards the group of you.
Glowing orb?
It's hard to from where you are right now and where it is at in the mist, it looks just like a very light blue glow.
kind of like hold up her hand for a second to signal for everyone to stop. Kind of gesture towards it. Is where it's coming from the direction that she would perceive that we need to be going?
As best as you can tell, this is the way, but you're pretty not confident. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is the flattest direction and the easiest one to travel. That blue orb is starting to get closer and closer, and it starts to get more of a shape now. As you're sort of waiting and waiting. Do you want to wait a little longer, or what are you doing?
Ooh. I want us to go see it.
We need to get off the road. There is a road. Path. Alec is going to, like... Go ahead.
Al is taking notes.
Al is taking a what?
Notes. He's taking notes
okay.
about the blue orb thing. Wants to get closer.
Is it something that Alec would recognize out here, or probably not?
Well, as you sort of say, we need to get off the road, and there's this moment of indecision among all of you as you're not really doing anything. You can see it get closer, and it's an animal. It's a wolf. But it's not approaching aggressively, and that blue glow it's like it has these like paintings on its fur, this very light blue paint that just sort of glows, and as it gets closer, it's almost translucent. You can see through it. It has opacity to it. And it approaches you first, Alec, and sort of walks around your legs, and you can feel the fur brush around your leg. And it does this to each of you. It just sort of strolls up to you and walks around you.
I hold my hand out to it.
Okay. You hold your hand out. It sniffs your palm. And it just walks around you again. And eventually it walks around each person. And then it walks back to Alec. And looking forward the way that you were walking, it looks that way. And every once in a while it looks back to the rest of you. And looks back forward.
Alec is going to squat down, look at the wolf, nod and say thank you, then gonna gesture for everyone to follow her forward.
Okay. So, as you begin to walk forward, are all the rest of you following, I'm assuming?
Yes. Can Al touch the wolf?
Yeah. So as you go to try
poke it.
As you go to try and touch it, it just kind of fades through. Your hand just fades through.
Oh.
Ooh. So, Alec, as you and the rest of the party continue to move forward, the wolf begins to walk alongside you. And you try to follow this flattened path.
I was just walking right next to the wolf, taking notes on it curiously.
Okay. So as you do, you're very curious about it, and eventually you try and continue to follow the path, and it runs ahead just a little bit and sort of sits down in front of you and then gestures its head to the left off of this more flattened path that you've been traversing on. And it just keeps looking at you and off to the left, and looking to you and off to the left.
We'll keep going the direction that he's gesturing to, looking in.
So
Can I try to get some insight off of this, Poochie?
yeah, sure. Make an insight check.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Sure.
That-
Go ahead and roll an insight check. So real quick, Alec, I don't know if you would have. Oh, hey, look at that. That's fun. Both 18. So I wanted to ask. Well, here, let me do this real quick. So the two of you's kind of looking at the wolf and trying to get a read on it. It's hard, you know, trying to study an animal, especially when the two of you haven't really had that much experience with animals, or especially wild animals, as this one seems to be, especially spiritual wild animals. But it doesn't seem aggressive at all. It just seems...
Morganix is just like trying to follow her gut on this one, and if it feels safe and good to her.
This is the only thing in this jungle so far that hasn't seemed outwardly aggressive. So at least a gut feeling for her, I'd probably say, is the creature seems friendly, so hopefully it wouldn't lead you into danger. It's just hard to tell. I mean, the creature hasn't exhibited anything that would elicit danger. So, Alec, have you pet the wolf at all yet, or have you just been following it?
No. She squatted down and looked him in the face, but she has not touched him yet. Her people are going to be very respectful towards the creature, so she's not going to approach until she feels as if she's allowed to approach, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, then yeah, he just continues to look up and then look to the left of where you are. Sort of trying to gesture for you.
We'll follow in that direction.
Okay.
He was sitting there, or does he look like he's going to, as soon as we continue that way, he'll go further, like continue to lead us? As
you turn to go left, having to walk over these large trees and vines and through a little bit more mud, not as deep though, he follows along, and after a certain point, he just runs off in a certain direction. And you can see the blue glow still at the end.
Dang it.
So he just kind of ran past all of you. Not in like a full sprint, but he definitely started to take off a little bit. And eventually, all that you can see is no longer the translucent shape of the wolf, just a blue glow off in the distance.
Like a history or it's like, have I ever seen or like heard a story about creatures like this before?
Yeah. I would go ahead and say roll a wisdom or intelligence check, whichever is higher. And then
is that wisdom?
Okay. For the people of Congiato, the place where you hail from, it was not uncommon for someone to, whether when they reached a certain age, when they reached a certain bonding with an animal, or even when they eventually passed on, that they would be able to channel their spiritual energy into animals and in the shape, sort of like a natural guide. So that's what you would know from your people, is that it's the embodiment of something.
Knowing that, then everything that, like, all of her decisions that she's made thus far regarding this wolf, like, she's made very confidently then, following him and in the direction that he has gestured.
Al is going to try to, I guess now from memory, catch a little of the wolf. If possible.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely sketch it out, sketching out the different shapes and styles of the paintings that were on its face and body. And it seems to be just a normal-sized wolf. It seems as though it just looks like somebody was painting on it. Very intentionally. But yeah. So yeah, you have a nice little sketch of the wolf in your journal.
Nice.
And eventually, all of you walk deeper and deeper, and eventually the mist begins to clear. And you're in this small clearing / grotto area where there is this small, what almost looks like cave entrance and a pond that is in front of it. And eventually that mist begins to coalesce from this lake and form. That blue shape sort of forms into something else, not a wolf. ethereal and translucent. At first, it's the shape of a human. And it's a woman, elderly, but at first the face is nothing more than a blank slate. But then it refines. An elderly woman, a wrinkled face, and long hair down to her waist, loose and flowing in whatever breeze hits it in this small clearing. And she smiles, and she looks to Alec. Hello, Alec. And you recognize this person. It's Grandma Tala. I am so happy to know that you are alive. I feared not seeing you in the spirit lands, that the worst had come to you. And
Why are you so far from home?
my dear, the old gods work in mysterious ways, and this is my grove now. Me and Tazuli, we protect it, and you realize now why that wolf was so familiar to you. That was her wolf. And go ahead and show to everyone.
Aww.
So you see that ethereal, translucent woman. She smiles. So,
It's so good to see you.
she moves closer to you, almost just kind of floating. There's really no feet. It's just this translucent mist, almost like a genie that just sort of clings to the lake. And it seems as though she's not actually able to leave this water. She's just able to coalesce as this misty, ethereal entity. Alec, what is it exactly that you seek? Do not mistake my question for thinking I am not happy to see you, but you are very far from home.
It's really hard for her when she says home, because she kind of knows in the back of her mind what the likelihood of the state of things are at home, but now she brushes that aside, and she says, my friends and I, we are searching for resting place of this coat nonetheless, who we've been hired to find his resting place. She's like almost can't think because this is very overwhelming to her. We need to do this. Do you help us? She can't say the name very well. And then she says the name.
So she looks at you, puzzled, and the name really doesn't ring a bell to her, but she says, my dear, I'm sorry to say, but I do not recognize the name, but I do know that a ways that way, pointing away from the pond, I do know of a structure belonging to men from long ago. I know that there is something similar to what you might seek there. I cannot help but see and feel something in the lot of you. You said these are your friends, Alec?
Yes. I hope that they are. They recently met. We have battled together, so I consider them good friends.
The future is a funny thing, to be sure. You can see her sort of take a moment to look deeply into each one of you, making eye contact and then moving to the next. And then finally bringing it back to Alec. All of you have pain. I can see this. Some have pain from their past they wish not to admit. Some have pain they have not processed yet. Some hide it behind a facade, and some have pain that is yet to come. I feel as though pain may bind all of you, but I fear that pain is yet to come yet.
Are you here to warn us of something?
I do not know. I think all I see is a serpent. I do not know. As I used to say, anyone who trusts a serpent deserves its bite. The wise see the creature for what it is and not what it says it may be. Alec, look to see people for what they are and not what you promise, not what they promise you they are. I see, I see pain and deceit. A serpent. I do not know. I am sorry, sweet pomegranate. You were and you still are everything to me. You know this, yes?
Yes, I know.
I promise you, no matter how weak I seem right now, I will always be with you. Whether by your side in the air as you walk, or protecting you when you fight. The old blood is stronger in you than any of the other chieftains before. Never forget that.
Yes, Grandmother, I will do everything in my power to honor people. Have my word.
And she looks once more to the four standing behind you. I fear as though all of you serve some greater purpose, but I do not know. I'm sorry, my child, but this form, it drains me. I love you, Alec, and may the old gods protect you and your friends. And she looks to you one more time and she smiles. And you can see that mist slowly start to fall away and apart and eventually back on to that pond and there's this blue light that is just kind of swirling underneath in the mist. And you remember the last time you saw her was a couple of months ago in your village. And you now have a direction. So what would all of you like to do?
Before we leave this area, I think Alec will kind of walk to the water and she'll take a knee. Under her breath, she will just say, "Turn to the mud. Be blessed by the old gods." She'll take some of the mud and just wipe it across her face.
Okay.
Is the water clear? Or is it also muddy?
No. The water in this particular pond grotto area is crystal clear. You can see all the different little fishes sort of swimming around, the little different bits of like kelp and algae that sort of give off these different like bioluminescent glows of green and blue, almost like this aura of dancing lights in this pond between the spirit circling in the pond and the different life and nature that dances along with it.
Man. Al's gonna clean off his gloves in the water. Oh man.
Alec will give you a very dirty look.
Oh man.
This is not water for bathing. Must be off.
Al shakes his gloves dry and puts them back on.
Okay.
Without
He
looking at
shrugs.
everybody else, she's going to head the direction that she was given, and as she's walking away, she'll say, "Let's go. It's not good that the spirits are so restless. You need to be moving." And just head that way.
Morganix will follow.
Sayla is scowling because she did not like the old woman at all. Not revealing shit. She's just like, no. And she's following now.
Al just takes a last look around and then he just hurries up and he catches up to.
Alrighty. So all of you make your way out of this clearing, this grotto pond area, back into the mist, following the direction. Alec, I'd like you to make a survival check with advantage, given the bearing that you were by Grandma Tala.
Don't get too once. Okay.
Okay, easy enough. You follow the path along, and eventually, the trees do clear. And there are a couple of different stone structures, but the one that catches your eye is this. It looks like it used to be a tower, but it's crumpled and fallen over on different parts, and it's elevated maybe maybe 20 feet off of the ground, and you can see this bridge that connects two different parts of the like there's this like small raised ledge and the stone bridge that is fairly put together still, that is connecting these two different elevated areas, and the trees for the most part having been cleared out, and there is this like narrow rocky path that you kind of have to pass through, and you can see that there are these like wooden spikes sort of jutting out of mud and rock, and there's a small ladder leading up to where this tower is, and looking you can see right now what looks like three cloaked figures in black leathers looking around. They're a little too far away to hear exactly what they're saying, but they're just kind of mumbling. There's one on a raised platform that's about 15 feet up off the ground, and the other two seem to be closer to the tower. So, with that, go ahead and move you guys here.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So you are at the very bottom of the map.
These people see us?
No, not right now. You're far enough away and hidden between these two different stone and rocky shelvings that they can't really see you all too well. So, what are all of you doing?
Is it possible
Morgonix
for me
is going to
to
look at the other... Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Aw.
Is it possible for me to try and sneak closer to see if I can figure out who they are?
Yes, you may. If you'd like to do that, I'll go ahead and need a stealth check from you.
I've been rolling like shit today, so we'll see how this goes. Except for the one good one. Oh, that's with advantage. Oops.
Whoopsie. Just take the first one.
That's how it works. Alrighty. Okay,
What's that pounding?
that's me rolling my dice.
Oh, this sounds like some big dice.
Yeah, they're metal dice. Heck yeah, it's the only way to roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sayla, you can see this one individual standing up here. Is supposed to be keeping a lookout, but they're just kind of sitting, and they've got like this large crossbow in their hands that they're kind of like tinkering with and banging it a couple times. And it seems like they're so enveloped in this that you can move fairly freely around the area. So I'll say, well, go ahead and move your mini. How close do you want to get up?
Maybe somewhere around here next to this wall.
Okay. So clinging up to where you think that the cloud or the shade might give you the most sort of protection. I'd like you to go ahead and make a perception check.
I guess while she's doing that, I'm gonna load my crossbow.
Okay. You slap a bolt on there.
Always takes me forever to find stuff.
Okay, so it's still a little hard because those... So you can kind of hear the two individuals above you, closer to the tower. And the one individual sitting on top of the platform there, which you can see is this like stone cliff right here is about 20 feet off the ground, and that wooden platform is an additional 15 feet off of the ground. So he's just kind of whistling while he's trying to like fix something with the crossbow. But you can hear the other two, and they're holding a conversation. And one of them says, "The beginning will have what the information you think echoes in the..." What the fuck? What the fuck is this supposed to be? I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to translate. I think we're just supposed to stay here and make sure nobody else gets in. Yeah, but what the... They're just words written on stone. I don't understand how anybody could get anything from them. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, you're not supposed to have anything make sense. We're just supposed to stay here and wait for the rest of the party to get here, so that way they can try and figure it out. Definitely your noggin head itself isn't going to get through that. Hey, fuck you, fine, whatever. And you see the one individual who seemed to be investigating a little bit more. He just walks off and heads back into this tent while this other gentleman heads and goes to look off the ledge. Okay. So he looks off of the ledge, and you can see, like, up his nose as he's just sort of looking out and over.
Oh.
And he, like, sort of... And he spits off the ground, and you can see it just sort of land next to your foot as he sort of looks over, and then he heads back towards the wall.
That's a big oof. Okay.
We're probably gonna fight these guys? Or no? What do you guys think?
Well, we don't know anything yet. We're waiting for Sayla to come back and tell us.
Alright. So she's, I guess, gonna make her way back because it seems like she's not gonna get anything else.
Okay. So easy enough. You stealth your way back, and on your way back, one more. Okay, yeah. No, easy enough. You you make your way back. These guys roll like dog shit. All right, so
Oh man.
you make your way back to the rest of the group, and you can relay everything that you saw.
So I tell them about the stone, and apparently it's got writing, and they don't know what it is, but there's more people incoming, so whatever we're gonna do, we need to do it, like, quickly.
Could we draw them out?
We are going to get to that stone.
Could we maybe sneak around them or draw them out somehow? And
Well, one of them seemed to go into some kind of structure. I can't really see what it was, but I might be able to sneak in and kill him. That's
I
one
don't
of them.
want to
now.
kill them. No.
Why not? They're obviously our rivals or enemies in this. The quickest way to get rid of the problem is to, well, get rid of the problem.
They are people. You know nothing about them. I'm
Exactly.
not going
I
to
don't
kill
care.
anybody.
Well, what do you expect? If they see us, they're going to try and kill us. And
Well,
need to get
maybe
out-
we can
Maybe
create some
sure.
distraction and they can just run off after it or something.
I can distract
I
them.
volunteer Al.
I'll kill him before he gets far.
I can distract them.
I
You can go in and then I don't know.
This is a terrible idea.
Boring.
I was thinking more along the lines of using magic.
I
Everyone looks to Cyrus.
I could do some kind of illusion. I can make sound. I can make images. Maybe they'd go after it.
Can try.
I still vote we just kill him.
big,
I'm not going to kill
Big of it.
anybody.
vivid image key, mate.
About this. Right? Why not, Morgonix? Do you feel as a distraction would be best? Why don't we try that route? And if worst comes to worst, if they do attack and retaliate, we kill them.
Could we? No, kill them. Can we? I mean, if we had to, couldn't we just incapacitate them somehow?
Could. And then when their friends arrive, they will try to kill us.
When their friends
Stealing
arrive,
our-
we'll be gone.
They'll know our face, though.
True.
I say we
I'm-
just slit their throat and be done with it.
I'm not
That would
going
be
to do
the
that.
that would be the safest approach.
I'm not going to do it.
Onyx, you distract them. We will take it from there.
I look to Cyrus. Is there anything you could do to help?
Me distracting? Never.
That actually makes her smile, so kudos.
Nice.
Christ. I mean, we could. I suppose we could put an illusion on a bolt and fire that towards their way and create some kind of distraction that way. I don't know.
I could maybe create a minor illusion of sounds in the opposite direction, like people are approaching and preparing something. I read that in a book once.
I mean, it's worth a try. I think. I hate to admit, I do agree with Alec. We can try and create a scene, but if they go after us, we kind of have to deal with them.
I'm not killing anybody.
By the sounds of it, you won't be.
I just kind of turn away and kind of scan around the area, And my computer, of course, randomly decided to restart, so that was super fun. And I'm waiting for the map to reload so I can show where I'm going to try to do something.
Okay. Hey, there you go. You're back in.
Sweet Jesus. Okay.
Are we good?
I want to make... How do I do the bloopy thing, which makes, like, it shows where I'm
So
pointing?
if you hold your cursor down like that.
Yeah, hold down
Oh.
left click.
Over there. I'm going to make it sound like lots of footsteps and readying of weapons and just, you know, maybe some murmurings of on the count of 3 we strike or something like that.
Okay, and sorry, where was that again? Was that up here at the top? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That little
Gotcha.
pathway that's leading away.
Okay. I would like you to make a... because that was with minor illusion, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't
No,
have
you're
my
good.
character sheet up yet.
That's okay. I would like you to make a deception check. Real quick, just to see how... Because that's a lot of sounds to make with minor illusion, so just to see how believable it is.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
Oh, hey.
So it is a collection of noises, and you are able to mimic the sound of like steel on a scabbard, that like chink, and you know the winding of crossbow bolts. But when it comes to the murmuring sounds, they definitely sound a little bit more like Simlish, with like speaking some type of weird language. And there's the one gentleman right here who's, what was that? What? And he turns around. Looks, sort of aims a crossbow up, and hey, Bruiser, go check that out. And you all can see just kind of barely. There is this tent right here. This gentleman inside the tent is going to come out, and you can see that he is just like a hair larger than the rest of them. Definitely broader in the shoulders. He's got this huge mace off to like a great club almost that he kind of swings over his shoulder. Not wearing as much armor, but definitely like an ox of a man. And he's like, "Hey, what?" Like, I think I heard something over there. You should go check it out. I heard weapons or something. He's like, "Do you see anything over there?" No, but I heard something. Well, then I suggest you go check it out. Why do I have to? Well, because I got a crossbow and you've got that mace thing. So if there are people, I can give you, fire and support from the top, and you can, bash some heads in. Right? That sounds like a good plan. It kind of grumbles and makes his way towards the ladder and heads down. And he is going to head over.
I'm gonna try to make the sound like they're like, "Oh, they heard us, hide," kind of thing, and like they're maybe retreating.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check again.
Oh.
We got a question. So, like, this map, is it like pretty close to that in game, or is there differences?
I would say the biggest differences is there are more trees just sort of on the edge. This entire area has been cleared out for the most part, but there's just more trees along the edge. That's really the biggest difference.
Is this like arcade thing there?
Not on this side, just on the one side.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, this is not.
Like trees? Is there like trees there instead?
No, anything on the map is the same except for along the edges of the map there are more trees.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, with that, as you sort of make that noise pop up, he sort of looks around. What the He's going to make an insight check. Oh, okay. Hey! Who's over there? Who's over there? I think I heard someone. I'm gonna go check it out. And he's gonna head further, and he's gonna go ahead and make a perception check. Alright, keep your guard up. I don't know where they went, but they might be back. And he's gonna, definitely a little bit more alerted, but he's going to head back this way. Towards the stairs. So were you gonna do anything else as he's heading back?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the sound of like a crossbow bolt being loaded behind him.
Okay. Go ahead and make another deception check.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So you make, and it's fairly convincing as you can kind of hear it, that as he sort of, and you can see him swing and turn around and like swing this great club and slam into the side of the stone just from the pure force and momentum. And he looks around. Wait, what the fuck? And he's gonna, oh, that's cocked. Oh, that's cocked too. Oh my gosh. There we go. Wait a minute. That's not possible. Hey! I think there might be spellcasters here. Hey, all of you! Except for you, Libram, you stay on the tower. The rest of you fan out. I think there's somebody else here trying to trick us. And he's going to swing it over his shoulder, and he is going to head over here. This guy is going to head towards the stairs, and this guy is going to come out of the tent, and he's going to start to head this way. Yeah, you guys can
climb
sorry.
this?
You could with an athletics check. You could.
Okay.
Al just kind of whispers, moment of surprise.
Alec is gonna look at Morganix. Next move.
Sorry, what?
Sayla's just gonna glare at her.
He's just gonna say, "What's the next move?"
I don't know. And
We killed them.
Morganix is looking like visibly upset again. It's like she's starting to kind of panic and lose her nerve.
Yeah, we're kind of out of options here.
Earth is going to put her hand on Morganix's shoulder and say, "Battles have to be fought."
This is not my fight. I have no reason to hurt these people.
They apparently
might
have
hurt
reason
you.
to hurt us.
I mean, if you want to go negotiate with them, my guest.
Do not look like they talk with their swords, and we must.
Can Sayla
So
just go
as-
ahead and try to sneak up on this? Never mind. He's got
Yep.
us.
So as you guys are having this conversation, trying to calm her down, you hear the one guard right here. Hey, they're over here, down below. And he's gonna, after seeing you, he's gonna slam down behind this rock, sitting down to give himself some type of cover. And this gentleman is going to run over here. Look, hey, get everything ready. You stay up there. Make sure they don't get up that ladder. And he's gonna run around behind this pillar right here to give himself some cover, and he's gonna hide in this corner here. And with that, as they all sort of get into their positions, you all in this very narrow passageway,
Get out of here.
Yes.
we will go ahead and roll initiative. Yep, don't forget to click on your mini first.
Nice.
Roll initiative.
Oh no.
Yes. What's happening?
Just so you know, Sayla
Wait,
is
this-
very upset with her.
Just wait till like I can't even remember what level, but at some point I'll be able to have advantage in these checks. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think barbarians get it, too.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm taking the first shot then.
Did you climb up?
My internet went out. I'm reloading it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No, you
no.
weren't able to climb up there yet. Yeah, because this is, like, elevated above the ground. You guys are, like, in between, like, almost like a very small valley Well, no. So I wasn't. Wouldn't be able to climb up there yet. You could spend that on your turn, but right now you're sandwiched between Sayla and Alec and Cyrus and Morganic. So you're right there. So you could try and climb up. It would be your action to try and climb up there using athletics. But here, let me outline this ledge a little bit better so you can see it a little easier. Oh, I guess I'm using a blue marker now. That's fine. Okay, there you go. So that's about where the ledge is. So right now you cannot even see this guy right here. So Sayla might be able to, just kind of barely, but most of these guys have half to 3/4 to full cover right now. So, what are you doing?
E.
Yes, Al, what are you doing?
Shoot this guy?
Yeah, so he is currently 35 feet up above the ground. But you have sharpshooter, so yes, you can go ahead and take a shot at him.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna do that thing again with the -5 to the roll, and then +10 to the damage.
Okay. Okay, that is a miss. So the bolt, you try and take the extra time to fire, but you just exhale at the wrong time, and the bolt just flies right past him and slams into the tent behind him. You were just way off your aim there.
Alright, I'm gonna reload, and then and then I'm going to move up here and kind of get behind cover a little bit there. Okay. From like these guys.
Okay, yeah. So try and slam your back up against the wall. Because this guy has so much height, he's able to see you pretty easy.
Gotcha.
But this guy right here, he's not able to see you at all.
This one? That one, right?
Oh yeah, this guy. Sorry, I didn't ping. I hovered my mouse over it and said he can't. He cannot. But this guy can.
Gotcha.
The rest of them can pretty easy though. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and pop this out of screen. And then we have, and this guy next. So, having seen you just fire a crossbow bolt, he is going to go ahead and return the favor. And he's going to go ahead and take 2 crossbow shots at you. So that's a 19 and a 6. The 6 misses, but the 19 hits.
Yep.
And that is... Oh, wow. That's 1 point of piercing damage as he throws the bolt on there, fires. The first one slams into, grazes your leg and slams into the stone behind it. But the second shot, you're able to see and move your head out of the way as the second bolt slams right next to your head. Luckily, missing you. So, then we have... Oh, this gentleman right up here. Who is going to take a shot at Sayla and a shot at Al. So his are with advantage because of the massive height he has got on all of you. So for the first one for Sayla, that is an 18 to hit. Does that hit? I believe so. I can check pretty easy. Yes, that does hit. And then the second one for Al, a 13. I don't think that hits. Nope. That does not hit.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I forgot I put your AC so I could see it on your token. Okay, so that is just going to be 1 hit for Sayla, and that is 7 points of piercing damage to you.
Ow.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you are right. Add turn... let's see. What was her... A 12. 12.12. Alright. There we go. Alrighty, very cool. Got that organized there.
I'm already down to 8. Ow.
Oh! Good.
Alrighty, so that is the end of his turn, which now brings us to Morganix. What are you doing?
Oh, God. Besides freaking out, I'm going to hold my hands up and say, we don't have to fight. We can just talk.
It already shot a Ult at this guy.
I will say, go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh. Come on, 2 nat 20s. Come on. Go. Oh.
Yeah, so the one big brutish guy who seems like the de facto leader, you can hear him chuckle when you say that. He says, "Oh, we'll talk all right when you're dead." Yeah. So, anything else on your turn?
I'll kind of
Was that
yell.
my...
No, you can. I would just say that was your free action because you can say about 25 words on your turn, just cause.
Then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him in the gut.
Okay, all right. So if you wanted to see, you would have to move up a little bit because this like blue line right here is like the edge of that cliff, which is about 20 feet. So you'd probably have to move up to about here to be able to see him.
Okay, I will do that then. I can't move my token.
Uh-oh.
You cannot.
Nope.
Oh, that's weird. It's on the token. Representative. Oh, that's weird. All right. Well, then I will. So you want to move it about here?
Yeah, wherever I would need to.
Okay.
And I probably would have done that before I said anything, like got in front of everybody.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Alright. Then Eldritch Blast.
Dude.
Gentleman, yep. Big one. Okay. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, which agonizing,
And,
right?
yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that is 7.
Specifically aiming like low for the gut, because this is my first time I've ever had to fight humans.
Yeah. So yeah, you as he's sort of like cackling, laughing at you, you can move around and you get a better picture of him. This like overweight, large man who, for you, it's still not easy, but it's a little bit easier because he does remind you of someone. It's definitely not him, but there is.
I was wondering.
Yeah, there's a reminiscence, but it's definitely not the same guy. So that makes it a little bit easier. You still kind of pull your eyes back a little bit and discharge the blast. And so that's a hit, and that is 7 points of damage. And you can hear a voice as soon as you discharge, and you can hear it make contact and him go, "Ugh," as the pure amount of force hits his stomach. And that same voice says, "I know it's hard now, darling, but with time you'll adjust, and I'm sorry."
I don't want to adjust. You will not change who I am.
Nice. Okay, alrighty. Solid comeback. So then that is the end of your turn, and we have this guy here, who... he does not have a ranged weapon. All he has is his sword, so he's just going to stay behind this pillar, and he's just going to hold his action in case somebody gets up those stairs. That's going to be his turn. So then that brings us to Sayla.
Okay. So, since Alec is right next to me, can I, like, have her help me get up on top of this, right...
Parkour!
Right up here.
Yeah, sure. I would say go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics, because it's not super duper high off the ground, with advantage since Alec is helping you, giving you a slight boost. Okay, so it's not that hard, as there's like different places where you can kind of put your feet and climb up. You hoist yourself up and you can pull yourself up, and we'll just say that is your that's your movement to hoist yourself up, and you get about here.
Okay. Well, let's see. Since I have some height, can I get range on him?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to get out my short bow, and I'm going to try and hit him.
All right, go ahead and roll for an attack. Excuse me. That's a hit. Roll that damage. Oh, nice. Very good, very good.
She's pissed. Payback's a bitch. She took 7 damage. She's gonna hit them.
So you draw the arrow after getting up, and sort of in this fluid motion of after Alec lifts you up, you kind of end up flipping where your back is like hitting the wall and your face is looking down. You push yourself off of the small ledge that is there and land, sort of 3-point landing on the ground, drawing the bow and arrow. And as you stand in one fluid motion, you release it, and he sort of looks up at you doing that, and the arrow just slams into the side of his chest near his arm and shoulder blade. And he, oh, you'll fucking pay for that! And he breaks the arrow off, and he seems very upset.
Am I like in half cover right now or no?
No. Yeah, because this guy still has so much height on you and you weren't able to really tuck yourself behind the pillar here, you're not really in any type of cover right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that is the end of your turn, and then that brings us to Brutish guy here, and oh man, he knows what he's good at, so he's going to let's see here. Yep. Using full movement, he's gonna run and sprint, getting right here, and he's gonna unleash 2 of these great maul attacks into you.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. All right.
Dang it.
So let me do. Okay. So we have got attack 1. 2 attacks. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. Shoot. And that turned on still. Okay. So that is an 18 and a 14. So 14 hit.
Yep.
Ooh, man. Okay. Alrighty. So then we have got damage. Oh, nope. Not that much. Wait a second. What? Oh, jeez. Okay, so we are looking at, with the first one, ooh, those are bad rolls. We're looking at 4 points of damage with the first one, and then 3 points of damage with the second one.
Cool, I'm still standing.
So 7 points total, as the Great Maul just sort of boom, smacks into your side, and he brings it back up and down towards your shoulder. You manage to dive out of the way of that one, but the pure amount of stamina that it drains from you, it just really makes it hard to deflect any sort of incoming blows after this. So that is the end of his turn. Where'd my turn order go?
Yeah, what?
Was I? What's next?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, look at that. All right, so then, Alec, yes, you are next after him. What would you like to do?
I'm going to rage, and also, is it possible for me to slip behind him right here? That young flanking. If not, that's okay. I don't know, because the wall's right here.
You could go like around this way, maybe.
Yeah, but I want to flank him, but I don't know if it would count. Like,
I mean, like, depending on how much movement you could probably hook around him on the right.
You could hook around him to get right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I see this little nook. Okay, yeah, I got plenty of.
Get that nook there.
There we go.
Maybe 5, 10, 15 feet. Okay. Alright, yes, I am raging, and she's going to charge in with her greatsword.
So yeah, you swing around, Morganic sort of, placing an arm on her. Yeah. So with advantage, yep. So 15, that hits.
Rage on,
Go ahead
yep.
and roll your damage.
God damn.
Holy shit!
We just had this man's whole career.
So after pulling off this big display of how strong he was, wailing into Morganix, knocking the wind out of her, who knows what would have happened next round if he would have been able to make 2 more attacks, you dart around her, place a comforting hand on her shoulder, swing around in this feral display of rage and bloodlust, spinning around, sliding on the ground, drawing your greatsword, and as you stand, you slam your shoulder into him, sort of moving Morganix. You sort of step out of the way, and as you slam into him, as he falls into the wall, you pierce your sword through his chest and out the other end as he sort of hurls over this rock. And as you pull it back, there's this splatter of blood that just sort of splatters on you, and Morganix a little bit gets near you. Not exactly on you as you moved out of the way, but he's done skis. Very much so.
What was that about me regretting it?
Exactly. Yeah.
As that happens, not in a necessarily mean way, perhaps in a little bit of disapproval, Alec is in her feral state right now. She's just gonna, like, bare her teeth at Morganix. So, this is a lot to say in one moment, but bear with me. She's, like, baring her teeth at her to say, times you just gotta fucking kill people, man. Then move on.
Is like a slight grin or anything?
A little bit.
Okay, so then with that, Alec, that's the end of your turn, and we will move on to Cyrus. So you saw
Go on.
him. Oh, sorry, you have more movement?
Yes, I was like, I literally went to here. Sorry, I just want to kind of spread out a little bit more. So that was like about 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go last amount of my movement that I can't go.
Okay.
Alright, keep moving on. Alright, that's
you
good.
Sprint over there, closer towards the ladder.
Sorry.
And then that brings us to now, Cyrus. So you just saw that man get, like, speared with a greatsword, and his body is kind of limp over the ground. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm too sober for this. So do I have,
drink.
which ones do I have, like, clear line of sight of?
Really the only one that you would have super clear line of sight would be the one who is standing on top of the tower.
That's what I figured. So
this guy
I'm
right now
going-
only has half cover, but you know.
I'm going to kind of press myself against this wall just to kind of, in case this guy decided any funny business. And on this dickhead over there, I'm just gonna magic missile him.
Okay, alrighty, go ahead and roll your magic missile damage.
I'm just doing all 3 darts at him.
Alrighty,
Wait,
get that 3d4
Were you
plus
attacking?
3. The one on the tower. So 5, 9, and 12 points of damage. Very good. Alrighty. So you... these 3 bolts of this sparkling blue energy, they just fly towards him. Boom, boom, boom. They slam into his stomach, each one on each side, and then one into his jaw as he... fuck that head! Holding his jaw, sort of whining in pain, almost. Okay. So anything else?
No, I'm just kind of actually. Before when they were talking about waiting for the other party, did we hear that, or was that just them?
Sayla heard it, and she relayed that to them.
Right. Well, I'm gonna keep an eye out behind us.
Okay. So we'll still just use your... Because I'm assuming this entire time you have been, like,
Yeah.
heightened, like... which, yeah. So, as of right now, up until this point, you haven't caught anyone following you or appearing in on you or trying to sneak and follow you, but we'll go ahead and use that same roll from earlier, as that's just, like, you trying to keep an eye out best you can.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, end of your turn, and that brings us back to Al.
Alright, I'm gonna like move out like in space over here, and then take a shot at this guy. Same deal as last time.
Use that sharpshooter. Okay. 21.
Does a
That hits.
21 hit?
Yes, it does. Go ahead and roll your
Nice.
damage.
24.
Jesus, man. All right. 24 points of piercing damage. You line up the shot as he is sort of recovering and holding his jaw, and he's like, fuck that hat. And you just line it up, and as he's holding his jaw, you unleash, and the bolt flies through the air, lightning fast, and pierces through his hand, up into his throat, and out the back of his head as he... And he sort of stumbles back, trying to pull his hand from his face, but he just can't pull it off as the two are like stuck to each other through the arrow, and eventually he stumbles back and falls down off of the barricade. You can hear that snap of bone, that as he lands down on the ground. Anything else?
Move back over to like somewhat cover.
Okay, so yeah, just try and best you can tuck yourself into the stone, just in case anything happens to come from this way. Okay.
I mean,
so then,
isn't it like if this guy's going to shoot, isn't that like, I don't know, 1/3 cover maybe?
he doesn't have any ranged weapons. He only has one long sword.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's going to. So then we're on the 20 of the initiative, and this thug right here is going to sort of look around at the eviscerated dead body that is about 5 feet away from him, and the other guy who just screamed and yelled in pain. I'm gonna have a round check. He's gonna sort of start to visibly shake. Fuck! I don't get paid enough for this! And he is going to start to run this way. So there's that one. And yep, he's going to make his way to the ladder and start to climb down it. Fuck. I don't get paid enough. Fuck this. As he's just sort of starting to climb down the ladder, trying to get away, and that's just his turn.
Okay.
So, Morganix, what would you like to do? It's your turn now.
Still can't move my token. I think it might just be because my internet and my computer is crazy.
I wonder.
But
actually, here, wait. Let me try something else. Let me delete your token, and let me replace it on the map. Sometimes that helps because
oh no,
how far in ahead I do this. I also need to here. Let me bring you down to size a little bit. A little bit bigger. There we go. All right. Are you able to move it now?
No.
Edit.
But again, it might just be my internet and my computer.
I have the little select cursor selected. Dumb question.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just trying to be helpful.
No, it's totally valid question. But I'll run up right in front of Alec.
Like here?
Talking like right around there.
I'm not even seeing where you're pointing because my computer's so fucked up. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's okay.
So you move right there?
Let me refresh. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good.
This is really frustrating.
Believe me, I had the most frustrating thing happen to me when I was playing on Monday where I couldn't move any tokens. So I understand what you're going through.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm
Okay.
gonna be like, I don't want to kill any of you, but my friends really do. Do you want to talk yet? Do you want to leave?
I'll go ahead and say, not that you are trying to be, but the way they're taking it is go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh man.
After seeing both of their, Okay, so the one who's climbing down the ladder, or about to climb down the ladder, he just, fuck it, I don't care, and he just throws his, like, bolts and crossbow and, like, a mace that he had at his side down on the ground, and he just sort of, sits down, and he's like, fuck, hands up, just on the ground, I don't want to die, and you can hear the one, over here, you fucking coward, fucking get up and fight! He's like, they don't pay me enough, not enough, and you can see that he's really starting to lose it a little bit.
Do I have anything left after that?
Yes. I'll say you still have an action. Yeah, we'll say that was your bonus action.
Then I will Eldritch Blast the guy that's giving him crap.
Okay, so he has 3/4 cover right now, so he has +5 to his AC. So just so you know.
Okay.
Behind
Probably
that
not
pillar.
gonna work, but
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, as he's sort of like shouting, yelling at him, like, get the fuck up, get up, fly. You slam the Eldritch Blast into the stone pillar next to him, and you can see chunks of stone fly off as he sort of, oh, fuck, God, damn it, as there's now like sort of dust flying around, and the stone pillar begins to crack a little bit more with the force that the Eldritch Blast hit it with.
Also acceptable.
Yeah. Okay, let me add your turn. Yeah, you were at a... Whoa. You were at a 12.12. Okay. Where you at? Okay, yeah. All right, so is that everything?
Yep.
Alrighty, very cool.
Wait.
Oh, wait, so then it is this guy who still is living and fighting. Man, he's going to take... seeing what Alec did to the other guy, he's going to take both of his shots at Alec. So let's see what those are. So that is a 17 and a 19. Whew.
Yep.
Both those hit.
See, it's not very good.
Ooh, that is 12 points of piercing damage total, reduced to 6 because you're raging.
That's correct.
Yes.
Ah.
Alrighty. So both bolts, they pierce into you. One only grazes your arm. The other one sort of pierces into like the fatty portion of your thigh. But you're able just to kind of like pull it out and drop it on the ground, and you can see him. Fuck. And that's the end of his turn. So, Sayla, now that you are up here, what would you like to do? I think you're still muted.
Yep. Yep.
See?
So my quarry kind of ran away.
What? I'm sorry.
He ran away, so I'm not sure if she should jump down or she should go this way.
I thought you said, so my corgi ran away. Like, that's why you were muted, is because your pet corgi ran away.
My prey ran away.
Yes, your quarry. I get it now. Woo, all right. I'm also sorry about that.
Oh, God. If she was right around here, would she have a shot at all? Or is she no shot from no matter where she goes?
No, if you were to move closer to the further edge right here, he'd still have half cover. You'd be able to see most of them, but he'd still kind of... So that's only +2 to AC, I believe.
Let's see here.
I thought half cover was like...
She can move about 30, right?
Yep, 30 feet.
So right around there?
Wait a second. Let me check. Yep, right about there. Yep, that's good.
Ish. Okay.
Yep, half cover is +2 to AC.
Okay, so she's right around here-ish.
Yep. All right, sounds good to me. So you go ahead and you can take a shot with your short bow. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. +2, just barely a hit.
Wow.
Alrighty, 7 points of piercing damage. Very good. So as you fire, as you pull back the arrow and loose it, it slams into his thigh. And he, fuck, God. Sort of like trying to like put pressure onto the wound with the arrow still in there. Obviously not being trained in the art of medicine or war, but just trying to stop the pain of an arrow just kind of jammed into his leg. All right, anything else?
She just kind of grins sadistically and says, "You're not going to be running anywhere, it seems." He's not the one that was trying to run away, but she's making a point that they're not getting away.
Okay, all right. You can see him, he sort of looks at you, and he tries to get behind the pillar a little more. All right. So then that is the end of Sayla's turn. Alec, it is your turn now.
Okay. I am going to... Yes, get over here and start climbing the ladder.
Okay.
Need a roll to climb the ladder, or can I?
No. You just climb the ladder.
Up it?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a ladder.
okay,
Yep.
so I can get up the ladder. Okay,
No
so
skill
let me,
check necessary.
I've got to go to dinner.
That's okay. Yep.
Right, so
You'll be-
Go ahead.
back in a few.
Okay, I think we'll be. I think this combat encounter is over pretty shortly. So, Alec, you climb up the ladder, raging, angry climbing.
Who is the one talking shit? This guy?
Yep.
Alright. She's going to growl at this guy. Go to this dude.
Okay, so he kind of cowers a little more, kind of having his own panic attack right now, and you move closer to him, who thought he was safe behind the cover. Was that your roll to hit?
Yeah, but I don't think that hit.
No, that just barely hits.
Dang, okay. That's all I could do, unfortunately.
And that is how much damage?
What? I didn't hit.
No, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said that just barely missed. My bad.
No, that just barely hits. Okay, 10 points
Sorry.
of damage. Not as much as with the other guy. All right, so you take a slice into him, and he sidesteps out of the way, but you still like cut into his arm and leaving a small scratch, and he's sort of out of breath trying to dodge between the arrow in his leg and now the slash in his arm. He looks pretty bloodied. So, anything else?
Nope, I think that's all I can do.
Alrighty, so then that brings us to Cyrus.
The guy who kind of threw his shit to the ground is the only one I can see, so bad luck for him.
Oh god.
I'm going to use my world's most successful spell, Firebolt.
I was
Okay.
about to say, we'll see if it's bad luck or not.
No, you know what? I don't even want to look at the roll.
All right.
Oops.
Well, you
that
rolled
was-
with advantage. Well, the first roll was a 23, so that is a hit.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it.
Oh, God. Oh, man. All right. Minus 1 point of damage. Woo. So the firebolt flies up towards him and slams. I'm not gonna say slams. It grazes his shoulder, and he says, "I yield, I yield, I yield, I yield," patting out the flame, even though it started to move up his neck and burn him a little bit there. Alrighty.
It was intentional. It was just a threat.
So, yep. So, Cyrus, it's the end of your turn. Al, he's just sort of taking in. He can't really see the guy. He's got full cover up against the pillar there. So we'll just go ahead and skip Al's turn. And that brings us to this guy who was already submit and yielded, which now brings us to Morganix. What are you doing?
Refreshing my browser because my internet.
All right, go ahead and roll for an attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna move wherever to try to get a better view of the guy hiding behind the pillar.
Yeah, sure. Easy enough. You
And-
could move over here and see him pretty well.
And then I will Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an attack. $14, that is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Cool. Plus 4.
So that's 9 points of damage. He's still standing as you throw the Eldritch Blast towards him. The force damage hits him in the jaw, and he's sort of just completely out of breath, cut and bruised and pierced by all of these different weapons and magic as he's barely hanging on.
Drop
anything
your
else?
weapons, please drop your weapons.
See what happens. All right, so it's his turn. He's going to go ahead and make a morale check. Okay. So he succeeds his morale check. He's still hanging in there. He's much more lawful than the other one, and he's going to take 2 swipes at Alec.
Okay, well,
there we
he
go.
just wants to die then.
So 2 Alec, 9 and a 23. The 23 hits, 9 misses, and that is 10 points of slashing damage reduced to 5.
Ooh, ouch. Okay. I don't want to question him anymore. I just want to murder him because he hurt me.
Alrighty. Okay, so he cracks into you with these 2 longsword swipes. The one you're able to parry, the other one he's able to cut into you, slashing against your arm, but you muscle through that pain in the pure state of your rage. So, with that is the end of his turn. Oh man, why does the turn order keep disappearing? There it is. Alrighty. So, with that, Sayla, it is your turn. What are you doing? Still muted.
Mother of God, okay. Normally I'm better at this. Oh, she just barely can't get to him. Dang it. I was gonna say stealth up behind him and kill him, but nope. So instead she's gonna move to about here and just shoot him.
Okay, so you do get sneak attack on this attack because Alec is within 5 feet.
Oh, sweetness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's mark that.
Oh my God.
Oh, hello.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll your damage.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap. 10 plus, what is that? That's
Yeah.
15, 25
25.
points of damage. Holy shit. Oh my God, heck yeah, that was overkill. So you sort of sneak up near the tent, and as you do, you kind of like do a barrel roll forward, drawing your arrow, and you slide it in. And Alec, as you can see him try and raise up this longsword one more time to make a swipe towards you, as you can sort of looking around trying to figure out the best way to parry it. Before the longsword is able to come all the way down, there is just an arrow that flies out of the front of his face as his head sort of splits open, and that like brain and blood matter just sort of splatters against your face, but you don't care because of your rage, and he sort of leers and eventually falls forward in front of you, making that splat noise as the leakage from his head begins to sort of swirl around your feet. Him dead, and you can see Sayla sort of on like one knee, holding the arrow up, or holding the bow up, and eventually lower it, knowing where that arrow came from. So he falls over dead, and you can see the one who sort of yielded, threw his weapons down, has his hands up, shaking, and he looks to you, Alec, and he says, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." And that is where we're going to go ahead and take our break.
Okay.
Ooh-wee. Alrighty, so that's fun. Go ahead and turn this on now. And we can go ahead and turn this back on. So, there we go. Alrighty, so yeah, well, go ahead and drink water, bathroom, and hopefully we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Should I go ahead and do the thing that we talked about?
Oh, yes, go for it. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry.
Alright, so we'll get there when we get there. Okay, alright,
Sounds
I'll be
good.
right back.
Is she okay?
Is Alec okay?
Looks great.
That sound is terrifying.
Oh,
Sound?
Let me know if you need help.
I don't think she's
No,
talking.
I don't. I could look it up. Sorry, my roommate's dog is like making this weird choking sound.
Okay.
That's
You're
not
going
good.
about me, and I was like, I'm fine.
I didn't have time to mute myself.
My dog does that all the time. He gets choked on his own slobber, and he just suddenly starts doing that.
Aw.
And I just pat him on the back until he's good.
This was one of the most horrific sounds I have ever heard. And they're saying that she, like, starts to get it up, and then she swallows it back down again.
Aw. That's not good.
Poor baby.
It's sad.
Oh, man.
Okay, sorry. I normally would have muted myself, but it was... Oh, shit.
No, yeah, you're good.
Doggy. Protect the doggos.
Doggo is life. Alright, well, we can clear this turn order.
I think next time we play, I'm gonna try... Has anybody ever tried playing on a browser on a tablet?
Yeah, I played it on an iPad.
It works?
I found it okay.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I did not have a good experience.
Because I'm having...
Yeah, it was on an iPad. And I tried
I'm
using
having
it.
to refresh like every 2 minutes or something. In combat, I didn't see what anybody else rolled. Half the time, I didn't see my own rolls. It's just, my computer is dying.
The good news is
really
you don't
no
need to
bueno.
refresh to see that I roll a 1.
I kind of figured that out by everyone's reactions to it.
I tried to mute myself before I started laughing, but I failed. And I apologize.
I mean, we all knew it was coming, so it's fine.
You provoked it, though. You said, you know what, I'm not even going to look.
Exactly. I said he thought it.
Yeah, as soon as you say it, the universe of Firebolt is like, alright, he getting a 1 this time.
I'm telling you, it's gonna get a crit on the last hit of the big bad.
That's really all we can hope for, right? Is one day you'll get a crit, and it'll be 2 1s. Well, I guess it would be... What was that? Because hopefully, by the time you guys fight, a big bad guy, you'll be more than level 5.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to be level 2 forever.
What a
Or
campaign
at that point, I'll use the worst use of wish ever and wish that Firebolt isn't fucking useless.
I wish my Firebolt always rolled max damage.
Oh god. It's so good though, because it's become part of the character. And I love it. It's like part of his charm.
And Cyrus is very charming, and it's
He is.
It's a good thing to have extra charm and I don't know. And his fireball deficiency.
We have such a good group of characters. I love it.
Yeah, it is very diverse in thought, opinion, and care for the general world around them. Which is awesome.
Yeah, there's like
Kinda messy.
definitely distinct levels of like lack of shits given.
I think Morgonix has all the shits for everyone. Like, Cyrus and Sayla throw theirs away, and she just kind of picks them up and hangs on to them.
I was
You're
on
like a
board with the
valet for
distraction.
baggage.
What?
You're like a valet for baggage, like you carry everybody's baggage around.
Lawful good.
Poor thing. I love Morganix. She's so cool. She's just so
Thank you.
sweet.
All right.
Sweet,
I
and
will-
then scolds, ow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The development of the blade and the hex blade.
Yeah.
I'm really curious what all that is about. I don't even know what the heck a hexblade is.
At some point, Morgonix will explain it. She was thinking about it on the trip here, but there was like a ghosty wolf, and that kind of yeah.
Yeah, as with most plans, ghosty wolves will throw them off.
Yeah.
Don't expect Sayla to ever talk about her home. Besides little quips about how she hated them and they're brainwashed.
Friggin' angel. Alright.
So damn perfect. Perfection is bad.
Exactly. The law is bad.
Everything that doesn't go her way is bad.
What an outlook on life. I like it.
She's so, very self-centered. And there's poor little Alec, who's sweet but also, vicious at the same time.
Yeah.
Average.
I don't even know what Al is. Al confuses me. I don't even know what he is. He just confuses me.
He's just a naive teenager way above his head who just
He's gonna
thinks he
end up
has
the
everything
big bad.
figured out.
We're gonna have to take him out.
Alec is the big bad. Or Al is the big bad. Uh-oh. Whispering plot details. over
Spoilers.
here.
Freudian slip?
Yeah. What a twist. I couldn't imagine, playing a campaign for, however long. 3 months, 6 months, a year, multiple years. And then, the entire time, one of the players was just a villain. Oh, man.
I saw...
Cool.
So there was a massive campaign done by a group of people, and I can't remember who it was that
I think I've
posted
read the
about
same. Is it the wizard that got
I don't-
they
he
failed
was-
a wisdom save in session 1?
I don't know about that one, but this one in particular, there was 20 different players. Each one of them was their own BBEG. They were each the bad guy, and they were trying to conquer while keeping everybody else from knowing that they were the bad guy. And nobody knew that. They all thought that they were the bad guy.
Holy crap.
And it was this massive, convoluted campaign, and it sounded awesome.
That's great. I knew a girl who was in a campaign for, I don't know, maybe 2 years, and something happened in-game where they had to do some really important thing to, remove some sort of, they were kind of undead, and they had to regain their mortality and stuff, and they all do it one by one, and then it gets to the warlock, and his patron says to him, if you do this, you will lose me. So the warlock turned on the party, and the next session they had to kill him.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah.
There was a really fun moment I had as I had a player DM, when one of my friends, Mark, he'd been running a year-long campaign, and at one point he was like, hey, I have an idea. Do you want to guest play? And I said, well, yeah, sure, of course, I'll guest play. He's like, all right, you're going to be a mercenary kind of bandit guy for hire, and the party's going to hire you. But the thing is, halfway through the session, for the last half of the session, you and I are going to swap chairs, and you're going to be leading them into a trap to your bandit cave, and you're going to be the DM for that half of the session, and then I'll be the NPC who was with them. I'll just play as them. And I was like, that's amazing. And
Holy shit.
it was so fun because for one, all of his players were mildly okay with it, but I don't think any of them ever recovered from that betrayal of trust. Because anytime they would come over to our house, they would be like, oh, hey Cameron, hey Connor, Joe. Hey guys.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
There was one that I had read, I think it was on Reddit, where the group all wanted to be chaotic evil. They just wanted to kill everything. So the DM said, no, there is no evil. So they were all like, fine, we'll be chaotic neutral. And we'll still kill everything, because we do what we want. And he said, okay, fine. So throughout the entire campaign, they keep hearing about this group of bandits that are slaughtering everyone. And mind you, these villages are made up of mostly undead. So they see themselves as the good guys killing the undead. Well, they get to
It's
the
an
end of
I
it.
Am Legend scenario.
Well, they get to the end of it to the quote-unquote big bad guy. And turns out there had been a massive plague, and there weren't enough living people to plow the soil and to keep people living, like keep people alive. So this guy had raised all of the dead and taught other people how to do it so that they could survive. And it turns out they've been, like,
I remember
murdering,
reading that.
they've been murdering everything, and it's turned it on their head. They were the bad guys.
Nice.
I mean, they
It was
wanted to be
great.
the bad guys, so.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, yes, sir.
All right, is everyone back? I believe so.
My knowledge.
So.
Yep.
Alrighty, so if everyone is back and ready, wait a second.
Back from-
just need
Guess
to
who's back?
back
Go again.
again. Man, good. Yes, that was a good place for that to end. We don't need to have Slim Shady be a part of this game. I don't think I'm ready for that tone shift.
Oh!
Let's see, where are we at here? Sorry, I just need to make sure that I have.
Like, Eminem playing D&D would be on par of, like, yesterday I found out that Vince Vaughn plays in Joe Manganiello's game, and I'm like, Vince fucking Vaughn?
I love it so much. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Vince Vaughn, though, what the shit? Why do I have such a hard time picturing that?
I like to imagine that Vince Vaughn and like maybe like one or two times Owen Wilson has played.
Wow.
He's like, wow, this is really, I love everything you're doing here. This is a lot of fun. Wow. So you're telling me
Belated
all I
bless
have
you.
to do is thank you. I'm gonna roll this dice here. Wow. That's awesome. I love Owen Wilson. Ka-chow. Love Cars. Like, honestly, unironically, I do enjoy Cars. And just because I'm talking about it, Ratatouille is my favorite, one of my favorite movies ever. Lord of the Rings, obviously, first, you know.
Duh.
That is a
Return of
good
the
one.
King, Two Towers, Fellowship, in that order. And then Ratatouille. Just
We had a
because I'm...
soft spot with Toy Story.
You said Toy Story?
Yeah.
Toy Story's a good one. Okay, all right. I cannot go into a Lord of the Rings tangent because it'll take an hour. I just love the
Yeah,
books.
especially with me here. All of my tattoos are Tolkien related.
That's amazing. Okay, so save changes there. Alrighty. So with that, we will go ahead and pick back up. We'll just dive right back in. All of you had made your way to Sunken City Bay, passed a trial by combat there in order to earn some type of reward for and being able to leave the city. You did that and you exited the city. You made your way through rainforest, muddy, murky waters, and you were had an interesting encounter with what seems to be the spirit of Alec's grandmother, Tala. She made general comments about you all as a group and what is yet to come for your future, and she kept talking about pain and the pain that all of you have and the pain that may end up binding you together. Regardless, spirits talking out of the woods, some of you take it a little bit more seriously, some of you blow it off as just crazy nature magic. But you all make your way with her direction after being lost. You make your way to a tower. You find the one that was indicated on this drawing that you originally had from that piece of this puzzle. You make your way there. There are guards. You distract them slightly, but at the end it doesn't matter, as most of them end up attacking with the intent to kill. However, you all, although the fight is short, it's still bloody for some of you, and you all arise victorious. However, there is one person in particular that yields. A younger man. You can see that he's got like wavy black hair, and Alec, as you are closer to him, you can see that he has like scars and cuts all over his face. can't be more than 16, 17 years old. Looks very similar in age to Al. But so he's just sort of hands up in the air, sort of muttering and whispering to himself. Alec, you are the closest one there, but what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna climb the ladder and get up there.
I'm moving this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my way over.
Alec is like looming over him.
Okay, so intimidating. Eventually your rage fades, but you are still like seething with anger. And then Cyrus,
Who
are you
hired
hanging
you?
back there, or are you?
I'm gonna kind of make sure I'm within earshot, but I'm staying back to keep an eye out.
Okay, alrighty. So yeah, you continue just to look up and around. Did you want to stay on that ground floor, or did you want to get up to a higher area?
Oh, definitely want to get higher up. In
So
that
you-
case,
Yeah.
I will actually hang around. Would I kind of have a clear angle around there?
Yeah, for sure. If you stay on top of this stone bridge right here, you could have a very good perception of the entire area around you. It's still harder to see through the trees, but as you get up there, go ahead and, as you've now been through combat, you kind of have to refocus yourself. Go ahead and make another perception check as you're up on this bridge.
Yeah,
trying to
sure.
keep an eye out.
I have enough time to get up here as well?
Yeah, sure. You could get up there with the rest of them. So eventually, as you were climbing up the ladder, sorry to cut you off earlier, but Morganix, what did you want to do?
I'm gonna just look down at him and ask, who are you working for?
And you can see he's definitely like looking at the busted up brain of the one to his left and to his right that fell off the building, the broken and shattered bones of the arrow like piercing through the gentleman's face as he sort of looks over in horror, just kind of out of it. He looks up at you.
Morganix is trying very hard not to look at that same stuff.
Okay. Real quick, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Okay. So he looks up, and you can see these young, remorseful eyes as just like little clumps of like water begin to form in the tear ducts, and they just slowly begin to like drip down. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I needed money.
I know.
And they said they'd pay me if we found the treasure. They said I'd be paid. And
Who are they?
it's there's two. Well, three. I think. I don't really know. I've only started a few days ago. But there was one woman and a man and another one that they talked about who was in charge of it all. The man, he very not very nice. He longer hair. He's been sort of. I mean, he only started a few days ago, but he apparently is the one who has all the information on it. And the woman has darker skin. Her face is painted teal and gold.
I'm just gonna look at the others with my jaw like setting and clicking angrily.
Alec is going to look at Sayla.
Oh, shoot. Can I have, before, when I was, coming up from over here, can I have been, like, grabbing the, bolts, the crossbow bolts that
For sure.
are here?
Yeah, easy enough. They were only wearing leather and linen and like textile armor. So easy enough. None of them were broken. You were able to retrieve any of your ones.
Oh, wait, hold on. One of them would have been
the one that missed. The one that missed, you were not able to get that one back. But the other, I believe, 2 or 3?
There was just 2.
2. Okay, so the other 2 you'd be able to get back, but the one that missed, you wouldn't be able to. It scattered and broke up against the stone.
Oh, wait, hold on. What about the one that's in the guy's face?
I'd say if you wanted to spend the time, you could get it out. All right. I mean, it
Sure.
would be hard.
Why not?
Okay, so you take the time to delicately...
With a straight face, Al is just going to wrestle the bolt out of the dude's skull.
Okay. So yeah, it takes a minute, so you wouldn't be involved in this conversation happening right now, but you would be able to get it out with time.
I listen as well, or...
Yeah,
No.
I mean, kind of passively. It just takes focus not to snap the bolt or have the bolt head pop off. But yeah, you're able to passively listen.
Okay.
Okay. So you recover those as this conversation is happening.
Okay.
I guess I look away. If Alec and Sayla don't say anything, I look back to this kid.
Yeah, Sayla's just seething right now with the whole situation.
Do you want a better life?
Of course I do. I'll just...
What are they here looking for?
Did you ask what
What?
were they here looking for?
So I said, what are they here looking for?
They're looking for some treasure, something, a grave, I think.
When are they to return?
They were supposed to come. Once we found it, we sent a raven. We sent it maybe last night, sometime before we rested, and so maybe within the next day or so, they would get here. They weren't in Sunken City Bay. I think that they stayed in Novadolka. Can I leave?
Where will you go?
Back to the city, and then I'll find a ship, or I'll do things for the people here. Maybe, I don't know.
Ask for Captain Vera Tinkertop and tell her you were sent by Morganix, and see if she will take you as part of her crew as a favor to me. I am giving you your life back. Please make something better of it. You don't belong out here.
Hold on, what was that noise?
Okay, I will. I promise you, I will never, ever, ever work for anyone like them again.
Someone make insight.
I promise.
Vera Tinkertop. And yeah, I'm gonna insight check him if
Go
I
ahead and make an
can.
insight check, yeah. All right.
Ooh.
You can... Something about what you said and the second chance that you gave him, you can feel that warmth that was once inside you when your guide would talk to you. You can see that same spark and warmth in his eyes. There is truth and honesty to his voice, and you can tell he wants to have this second chance.
I'm gonna kind of crouch down and take his hand to try to pull him up.
Okay, so he grabs onto your hand and he stands up tall and he smiles and he says, "Thank you so much."
I'm gonna give him a gold piece.
Thank you. I don't know if I'll ever be able to repay you for this, but my name is Preston, by the way. As he holds the gold coin.
I'm Morgonix. Remember Vera Tinkertop. I trust her. Oh, he's just a baby.
Vera, yes. Vera Tinkertop. I will, I promise. Thank you. And he holds the gold coin to his chest. And he looks to all of you, and he begins to make his way towards the ladder. And we'll see what happens here. All right. So as he begins to make his way towards the ladder, none of you see it fast enough, as there is a certain deadly silence to her. But as he begins to make his way towards the ladder, with the flash of a dagger, Sayla jams it into the back of his throat as he makes his way down the ladder, and he falls forward onto the ground, dead, after dropping the 20 feet.
At this moment, Alec is going to like grab Sayla by the shoulder and kind of like throw her back. Why did you do that?
He's a loose end.
He's a child.
Just says,
He was a child. How could you?
He's a loose end. She doesn't
You're a
comprehend.
loose end.
Understand.
I Eldritch blast her in the face.
Oh, okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
I have 8 HP. Oh no.
Yeah, but technically, Alec is in between the two.
Oh.
Yeah, so that just means if it's low, it's hitting you.
Oh shit. Okay.
What? I'm gonna die. I wasn't expecting it to escalate that fast.
There were just angry tears pouring down my face, and I lunge at her.
All right, and you fire this Eldritch Blast as soon as we see the attack roll.
Should I refresh? Did it not go through?
No, go ahead and refresh real quick.
Shit.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, here, I think I can.
Okay.
There we go. Oh yeah, that's gonna hit her.
Oh yep.
Oh god.
Roll your damage.
And it wasn't even something I was thinking about doing. It just kind of fired without me even thinking. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm still alive.
+4?
Yep, because the agonizing blast. That's 9
I'm dead.
points.
I'm dead.
You are unconscious.
Oh god.
Unconscious. There's a difference. So Cyrus, as you're sort of trying to keep an eye out best you can, it's too hard to see through the thick, dense forest. But you hear this like slunk sound, and then a large crash and thud, and you see that younger man who had like surrendered and thrown his arms down fall off of the side and land, and his body is all crumpled up and twisted. And then as you look up, you see Morgonix shoot off this magical discharge of energy at Sayla, hitting her body, falling limply, and eventually Sayla's body like falls limp onto the ground, not moving. would you like to do anything?
I'm going to walk over. Like, I'm just gonna kind of like briskly walk over and say, shit, 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 shit.
Alex is going to point at Morgonix, and she's going to say very aggressively, "You need to calm down. Stand down.
Just
Stay here and do not
angry.
move."
Angry tears, and I'm gonna look down at the kid. Is he dead?
Yes. Yeah.
Is he totally beyond saving?
Unless you had a 3rd level revivify, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's beyond saving.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna kind of fall to my knees and cry.
Alec is going to go after Sayla and pour the health potion. Or only health potion.
Okay, so yeah, you feed it to Sayla. Go ahead and roll the 2d4 plus 2.
And I've got a health potion too.
Oh, you do as well? Okay, that's good.
I am, like, as I'm feeding it to her, Alec's hand is on her shoulder, like, very tightly grasping her, because she knows that as soon as she gets up, she's going to try to stab Morgonix, and she does not need that. Doesn't need that.
so-
So she's like, grappling her, if that's possible.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check real quick.
I get advantage because she's knocked out?
Yeah, right now, yeah, because you sort of like wrap her up best you can.
Magneto, athletics. Oh, well.
Well, yep.
Okay, roll
Yeah,
24. Alrighty, so then you feed her the health potion, so go ahead and roll the 2d4 plus 2 for that.
I do that, or does she roll that?
You're the one feeding it to her, so you can go ahead and roll it.
Okay, 2d4. It's 2. Oh,
So that is 8 hit points recovered, so you're back to where you were.
Is it? Oh yeah.
Yep, and so you can feel that rejuvenating liquid sort of coat your throat, and you sort of jump back to life, having just been like the air knocked out of you. And as soon as you try and lunge towards a kneeling Morganix, but before you can move anywhere, Alec is like wrapped around you in a like a submission hold, and she has just got you like held down, pinned to her, so you can barely move. You are alive, and you can hear Cyrus just kind of far away, just shit, as he's making his way towards you. So yeah, you shock back awake to see what is happening.
Al is just gonna walk over to Morganix and hand
And what?
on her shoulder.
Okay, just comforting.
Yeah.
Right?
Morgonix is
Not
just
saying
sobbing.
anything. Just putting just the hand. That's it.
Alec is still holding on to Sayla, and she's very gruffly speaking to the two of them. You two do not learn to get along. I will kill the both of you. We understand each other.
At this
Sayla
point,
is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
literally, as I get over here, at this point, I haven't been drinking all morning. I down my hip flask.
You do the sweet, sweet nectar of the gods that you hold in your pouch. It is
Nice.
great relief to you.
We have a job to do, and if they all are dead, it does not get done. Control your anger. Two of you.
What the fuck happened?
So, when I came to, I immediately yelled like, "What the fuck, you fucking bitch! If you fucking try anything like that again, I'll fucking slit your throat." And I make it very clear that by the end of this, once we figure this shit out and we get the mission done, she's fucking dead. I will hunt her down and kill her.
Morgonix says nothing. She just glares through her tears.
Al is going to go down to the body of Preston, and come up against the wall, I guess, and then kind of sketch his face in his notebook, in Al's notebook, and I was going to write his name under the face.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do right now.
Okay. You take that time to do that.
But
All right.
what happened?
I tied up a fucking loose end. That's what happened, and she
She
didn't like
killed a
it.
child.
I did to kill the young man.
He was unarmed and he had surrendered.
That doesn't matter. Do you think he saw our faces? You honestly think it matters that he was unarmed and a kid?
Listen,
Yes, I
no
do.
more useless killing.
Grow up.
You do not need to kill those who are of no threat to us.
Anyone
Christ,
who sees our face is a threat. Anyone who sees our face out here doing this is a threat.
Your boss hired 2 parties, and I don't even
Noted.
want to know why.
Duly noted. Trust me, I don't like it either.
I mean, Christ, he was a kid. He wasn't a threat anymore.
I saw it in his eyes, in his heart. He wanted a different life. He didn't want any of this.
If you had seen me as a child, you'd know children can be threats.
If I had seen you as a child, maybe you'd be a happier person. And I stand up and I walk away.
Oh,
Okay.
Real party drama going on here.
Mic drop.
So,
Oh,
Alec, are you still holding on to Sayla?
Yep. Correct.
Okay. So, Sayla, are you trying to break out at all, or?
no, I'm resigned that I will get her when she's least expecting it.
During this, I'm gonna just search their shit and try and find booze.
Okay. So, go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay.
nice.
Very good. Very good. So, searching around through both of the tents, as with that, for one, inside this tent, you find what seems to be a collection of rations for 4 or 5 days for 4 people. You also do find a what seemed to be a bottle of some type of bourbon or scotch. It's not labeled at all, but it is a
Oh, damn.
darker brown, like goldenish brown liquid. And it seems to have been aged at least a little bit, as it's currently corked and still sealed. However, as you are pilfering around, not in this tent, it seems where like this tent was mostly meant for supplies. This one over here seems to be where they were sleeping and where most of the notes are. And
Okay.
and as you are looking through that one, you can see a collection of papers and journals, and you sort of peer through some of them, bourbon bottle in hand, and you can see the larger, more brutish individual who they refer to as Bruiser. It seems as though he kept a journal of some kind, and it's a little hard to read. It seems as though he was not the most educated. But there are a few things that catch your mind, just being able to properly look at this and sort of decipher, almost like it's its own cipher. This his chicken scratch of handwriting.
Yeah.
But there are a few things that catch your mind. There is Baramici's name is in here, his grave. Jalissa's by name is in here.
Oh shit. Okay.
Charles Windren's name is in here.
Turn.
And there is a last bit, which is very concerning to you specifically. You cannot read anything around it, but you would recognize Duradine Dupree anywhere.
Is anyone like? Am I in the tent?
Yeah, you are in the tent. Mm-hmm.
I rip that part out.
Okay. So you rip out the part specifically about Duradine Dupree?
Yeah, just that
Okay.
part.
All right, so you rip that out. And also, you do see that inside this tent, near a larger, comfier bed, lifting things up and pulling it. It seems as though the amount that the other three were going to be paid was also there. So you find 45 gold pieces.
Nice.
Okay.
Where it seems as though, judging from that this mission must have been fairly important to those people in charge, and they were willing to pay quite a bit.
Right, okay.
And that is generally, and you are really digging through stuff, and that seems to be the extent of what you find.
Yeah, that's fine.
At this point, Alec is going to look at Ayla, and she's going to say, senseless killing does not make you strong, nor is it very wise. You call me simple. And to control yourself. I'm gonna let go of her. Try to find Cyrus.
Okay, so as you let go of her and look for Cyrus, you can see him coming out of the second tent right up top where his token is right there.
I'm spitting the cork out of the bourbon. Well, they know about us, and I'll just start drinking.
While they do that, I'm gonna go over to this other tent and rifle through it, because I'm bitter as hell and want to get away from them before I stab somebody.
Okay, so you can see looking through here, most of it has already been looked through, as this is the first tent that Cyrus came to, but just to distract yourself.
Oops.
No, you're fine. You look through it and you find different like supplies and rations. It seems there's like different munitions here, crossbow bolts, arrows, general supplies. There's some rope and chain in here as well, if you wish to take it. But yeah, it seems as though this is a supplies tent.
Take the chain.
I was about to take the chain. The chain and the arrows.
Okay, so you take 15 arrows. You can go ahead and add to your inventory, and 1 length of chain, which I can go ahead and add to your inventory real quick, just because it is...
How many arrows again?
15.
I have a lot of arrows. I haven't even been bothering to pick them back up.
So it's all like the terrain around like here and here, like outside the map, like all the same, like forest, like flat forest. Are there like paths?
No, it seems as though this is the only place that's really defined whenever it was made. But even this part is kind of starting to become overgrown with different like moss, and the trees are starting to reclaim this area.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to drag the body of our friend, this dude, Winston, over to the forest in this direction.
Okay. Drag his body.
I bring it like, I don't know, like 20 feet into the forest, and I just kind of, I sit him up against a tree. I make him, put him in like a respectable position. Yes.
Okay.
Just kind of, I stand like a foot away in front of him, straight up, and I like kind of give a small bow. And I move over and then grab the body of other guy, that the big brawny dude that was over here.
Mm-hmm.
I bring it to about the same area. I kind of leave it there.
Okay.
Just I don't do anything special for that one. How many other bodies there?
Not on the ground floor. There is the guy who was up top.
I'm gonna up
here
to the guy that's up top. Okay, I'm gonna bring him over to this edge and kind of like throw him off.
Okay. And then there was the fourth guy who fell off that you
And
had shot.
I do the same thing with that guy.
Okay, so all of you can see Al sort of throwing and moving these dead bodies around, sort of dragging them off into the forest.
What was
Your reaction?
Is just pissed off at ridiculousness that just happened, so he's barely paying attention. However, what was when we first came up and Sayla kind of scouted ahead? They were like trying to read some writing on a wall somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, where is that?
That is right here.
Okay, can Alec try to what is that? Can she investigate this area?
Yes, she can. Easy enough as you just sort of look around. There is writing on the wall. Let me go ahead and copy and paste what it says there. So it says, verbatim.
Young children have just arrived. If you can't hear them.
God, yes, I can. It says, the beginning will have the information you think echoes in this tower. Beginnings reveal all of the truth. Veronica, I am sorry that we must end to start new. And I will go ahead and paste that in the chat.
Does all that on the wall?
Yep.
Carved into the wall?
Uh-huh. Very intentionally carved.
I'm sorry, recently? Is that what you said?
No, intentionally carved.
Okay, sorry. You said Veronica, but it says... Wait, what does that say? Does that say Veronica?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Veronica.
I was just trying to process that.
Okay.
Who's around still?
It seems as though Sayla is digging through the one tent still. Al is still pulling those bodies into the forest. Cyrus, Morganix, what are you two doing?
Morganix has just been kind of trying to pull herself together, kind of numbly watching Al.
I'm gonna be kind of just pacing around here, reading through this book, being like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
Alec will come out, and she will relay what she found on the wall. I do not understand why Alyssa would send us here for her to only come here herself. Is that what you're saying, Cyrus? That she knows that we're here?
It goes... I think it's worse than that.
What?
So, this... And I point to, the guy with the puddle of brain matter. I say, so this prick, his journal, the good news is they were paid, so we have some money. And I just kind of throw the coin purse on the ground. Bad news. His journal says that prick from Dragon's Bay, Charles Windren, the fucking asshole, and Jalissa. So that's fucked.
Angelissa,
I'm so sorry.
that sentence makes no sense. And they what?
Oh, frankly, his writing is appalling. And at this point, I am very invested into this bourbon. However, the book, it does specify Jalissa, and is that me?
No. Sorry, that was for Al.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
Frankly, I don't know. His writing is appalling, and the only thing I could make out were the names Jalissa and, again, that prick, who Jalissa said she took care of. Yes, of course you can. Oh shit! And I take another sip and it's like, our friend Beremici is in the book. I'm assuming that Charles has hired these people, and who knows what Jalissa did, but I don't think he's dead. And I kind of hand the book to Morganix.
And I have that sort of nifty, game-breaking little Eldritch invocation.
Yes. Well, the thing is, it's definitely written in common. But the issue is his handwriting is just so appalling. So it's hard to read exactly word for word what it is. But you and your patron, she kind of whispers in your ear every once in a while. Whenever you get to something you don't quite understand because the handwriting's so terrible, she'll be like, "Oh, I think that he must have meant, oh my, his handwriting really is horrid, isn't it? Definitely some type of servitude, probably paid. Oh, he was told to keep an eye out for... Oh, look at this. A group matching your description. Oh, that's very interesting.
I look up. Oh, I'm sorry. Does she have more?
Yeah. Oh, and... Oh, could you flip the page, darling, please?
I do, and resist the urge to roll my eyes.
Thank you so much. It's hard not having your own hands, you know. Oh. Well, it seems as though here our friend Brutus... it seems as though Jalissa does not trust any of you. Very funny. There's an analogy here that I think he butchered it. I don't think he really understood what she meant. I think what he was going for was the same way that you throw meat to dogs to distract. That is the same she saw of you. Knew that you would become a liability. Oh, so that's why she sent you here. She thought that these buffoons would be able to best you. Looks like all she needed to do was pitch you against yourselves, darling. Well, that seems as though that's the last bit of interesting. The rest of this is about some type of dwarven bourbon that I believe your purple friend over there has found.
I slam the book shut. We were meant to die here. Jalissa wanted us to be killed.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, we'll say after you finally get the copper and silver and the map, you are walking back as you hear her say that.
She saw us each as liabilities, and she thought that the other team would take us out and solve the problem.
Oh, that bitch.
Was an interesting development.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
Okay, sorry, I forgot one thing. I just looked down at my notes, and it's rather important. So I figured that you would prefer it. Sorry, I was just looking at it. Sorry, one more thing, darling. I do not mean to interrupt, as this little powwow was very important to your group as a whole, but there was one more thing in there that I think is rather important. Your friend, the elderly gentleman with the pipe, and the Alex friend, this says that they're still in New Vidalca and still safe, but they're in an abandoned building in Salt Town, near the coast.
And
do with that what you
apparently
will.
Duncan's being kept in some old abandoned building in Salt Town
With Co.
with Co.
Hold
I
on,
do
is
not
this...
understand your people at all. This is kind of like rubbing her head, very confused.
Politics.
Can I'm sorry for the timing, and I take a sip. Can we agree to kill at least this bitch?
I think I can make peace with that.
I know I can.
So there's nothing here. Was this all for nothing, or
Maybe not.
What do you mean there's nothing here? The tower's empty?
don't know? We were sent here to die. What is the meaning behind the tower? What is the meaning behind our meat sheath? I do not know. Is this writing? To like gesture for everyone to follow her. Not sure what.
Morgana says.
I'll just point at the wall. Oh, thank you, recorder.
Yes. That writing is exactly how it appears on the wall as well.
Ah. Interesting.
I'm wondering if I can make some kind of intelligence check. Morganix's first instinct is that there's some kind of code or anagram in the capitalized letters.
Okay. Well, then look to see what those are.
Cavern veteran. Hold on. I need to write the.
I was gonna write down exactly how it in the book.
Everyone vigorously tries to solve the riddle.
Well, I'm just wondering if the is part of it, and this is just as much Morganic saying this as I am. Because all of the
White Raven.
yeah.
White Raven. Take and all the big. She doesn't know what capitalized means. The big letters form phrase the White Raven.
So, Alec, as soon as you say the White Raven, there is this grinding noise, this, and there is wrong window. Hey, wrong window. Hey, there we go. There is this piece of earth right beneath the letters that slowly slides back.
Maybe it wasn't all for nothing.
There is a staircase that descends down.
What?
Let's do it. Whatever's in here, I don't want Jalissa to have it.
I agree. Before we go down, Alec is gonna like step right in front of the staircase. I'll need to be on the same page. What we do next is for us and no one else. Go in together, and we leave together as a company. Battle, we do not
killing
turn.
anyone, if that's what you mean.
Battle, we do not turn on our company. We will continue this tradition as we follow forward.
Here, and I drink, and then I pour a bit of the bourbon out. And it's like, oh fuck, that was a waste.
Apparently it's dwarven.
I scowl and say, until the end of this, she's obviously still very pissed about what happened.
Yeah, Morganix is just not looking at Sayla.
Al just, his hand in his face.
Alright. With that, Alec will turn, and I guess we're going down.
Okay.
Okay. So, marching order, please and thank you for how you all are making your way through.
I was third.
Al is third, okay.
No, that's
Maybe
like
me up there with Alec just to help out with any traps and shit.
much appreciated.
Okay.
I will be, towards. I guess I'll be after Al.
You want to switch order?
What?
Or do you want to be in front of me?
No, I don't want to be next to her.
Makes sense.
That's great.
And then Cyrus up at the rear then?
Yeah, I've got dark vision.
Iris bringing up the rear.
All right.
I don't know why that's funny.
Okay. So, you all begin your descent downward. The staircase is dark and cramped, and the air is stale and dry. For a time.
Is it lamp time?
Yeah, if you would like to turn on your lamp, that would be a good
Bang,
idea.
boom, and lamp time.
All right, lamp time. So, I need to turn that on. All right, what's the range on the lamp?
60 feet in a cone.
So 60 feet bright, 60 feet low. Is that what it is? Or is
Wait,
it
hold on.
30,
Let me. I forget. It's a bullseye lantern. It's 60 feet bright and 60 feet
Dim. Okay, cool. Very good, very good. And let me just double check one more thing here, make sure. Okay, there we go. That would be sad if that was. Okay. Yep. And then, sorry, I'm just double checking to make sure that this is all correct. And then, last but not least. Okay, we're good.
Right.
Okay, so you begin to turn down, or you begin to come down the staircase, and Al, as soon as you turn the light on, it illuminates downward, and it keeps going for 120, 160, 200 feet down, and eventually it flattens out, and the walls around you begin to curve down and around in a slope. However, as soon as you begin to turn the corner, you can hear the grinding of stone on stone, that noise. As you look up, the light that was being leaked in from that tunnel, the doorway above shuts. You're trapped. All you have is the choice to move forward. You continue to walk in these dark, stale corridors for maybe 15, 20 minutes in a straight line until eventually you start to see light at the end.
How long does that take?
I'd say 15, 20 minutes. Was there something you wanted to do? Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just keeping track of how long I've been using my lantern.
Oh, very good, very good. So you continue to walk in the straight line for what seems like forever, till eventually you can see this gleam of light, very, very dim, and then you start to hear the most peculiar sound. It sounds like water. It's very like the rushing of water, that and as you continue to walk, eventually you get to where the stone corridor ends, and as you look, you can see water surrounding a pathway. It doesn't seem like there's glass or stone or anything preventing it from touching the walkway, but something is. And Alec, being the first one there along with you, Selah, you can see that off of this ledge, looking downward, you can see fishes swimming and sharks swimming, and you can see buildings maybe 100, 150 feet below you. And you look up, and you can see ships sailing above you.
What?
You're in the sunken city. Or at least a pathway to the sunken city. You continue to walk, following the path leading to this much taller, more elaborate building. It almost looks to be some type of temple. Eventually, the pathway surrounded by water ends, and you are in a much darker area. Luckily, due to the lantern, it's illuminated, but they are these tight, ruined corridors that seem to be, so these tight corridors that seem to have the stone had fallen off and apart, and while you still are surrounded by air as you enter, you can see these, like, glowing teal-colored pools of water next to you. And as all of you enter, you can see that, and I will go ahead and move you now. Morganix, as you poke your finger, there's not a hole that's created, you just poke your finger through, and as you pull it out, your finger is wet. But it doesn't puncture a hole, the corridor doesn't begin to fill with water, but your hand moves freely out and then comes back in.
Cool.
Takes notes.
So you do, and go ahead and move you. Now, it's probably going to be pretty dark for all of you. You'll have to move all the way to the right side of the map. So as you enter into this darker, more dimly lit corridor, so all the way in the right top corner is where it should be. Can everybody see? I hope so.
I'm refreshing.
Yes. I've got it.
Okay. All
Got
right.
it.
Okay, very cool. I just wanted to be sure of that. So as you enter, you can hear the sloshing of water and the smacking of these, like, wet footprints as you can see this large toad-like humanoid running towards all of you, looking behind, sort of, and he looks towards all of you, and you can see chasing after him are these two fish-like creatures who, one throws a spear at the toad humanoid, and the other one throws a net, and whoa, there goes my boot. Okay,
Oh no!
And that's a hit. So the net gets thrown onto the toad-like humanoid, no more than 4 feet tall, bipedal, standing on 2 legs. The net gets thrown over him, and he sort of falls down to the ground, and the spear lodges into the creature's side, and he sort of kind of like squelches in pain, and you can see there's like a rope tied to the spear, and the 2 fish-like creatures here, this one who threw the spear sort of grabs and pulls, and then jumps into this water here and swims away, and this other one takes a look at all of you and hisses and dives into the pool as well.
Oh, in a black screen with
That's good one, sorry.
blank screen with my token on it.
Wait, really?
And mine, that's just a black screen with my token on.
Is the light attached to me then?
You move, maybe. God, I don't
It
know.
is. The light's attached to me. I can see.
Back.
You move?
Refreshing.
Oh, wait a second. I think I know what I did. Wait, did I? Okay, are your tokens still weird?
Oh, we can see our tokens.
But you can't
But
see the map.
Nothing else.
Oh, I'm
This
fine.
is all black for me.
I'm back. I just refreshed in.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, try and refresh real quick. That's the one downside of using the new tools that Roll20 has. Is
But I do have done it.
It's incredibly blurry for me. Is it supposed to be?
no.
Let me refresh.
That does happen to me on Roll20 sometimes. For some reason, it takes like ages for it to load the map file.
Refresh.
Next week I will try playing on my tablet and hopefully be much less annoying to everybody.
No, it's not annoying. I understand.
Well, it's still really blurry, but hopefully it'll clear up later.
Okay. Yes, hopefully. So, alrighty. So all of you just saw that spear fly through that weird toad-like humanoid creature by these other two fish-like humanoid creatures. They pulled it into the water, and then they dived into the water after it. But right now you can see the stone floor near you, these different like puddles of water around you. What would you like to do?
It's still black for me. Just refreshed.
Yeah. I wonder, you know what I can do? I can give you night vision for 60 feet. Let's see if that works. Save changes. Did that help?
I can see now.
Okay.
Hey!
My field of vision drastically fell.
They jumped off. Swear.
Okay. Can Sayla, can you see now as well?
Yeah, I could see it just drastically decreased from what I could see before.
Oh, okay. So they dropped down here. In these two holes right here.
So, I'm gonna kind of be gingerly walking down here, but I'm making a point to keep away from the water after seeing that.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, same.
Huh.
So sorry, Sayla. I don't mean to fall upon you.
You're fine.
We stick very close together.
Okay, so real quick, Sayla and Alec as the... Yes, I will get there in just a second. So as the two of you come near on that very thin sliver of land, maybe only 3 feet across, let me go ahead and... You can see those two fish-like creatures. They dart up real quick with spears, one aimed at each of you. And let me see here. Sorry, I just need to... There we go. And I also need to make sure something else is... Oh shit. No. There we go. All right, we're good. Always whisper rules. Alrighty. So with the spear, first for Sayla, that is a 5 to hit, and for Alec, that is a 10 to hit. I'm assuming neither one of those hit.
No.
Okay.
Do I have I think I have a dodge, don't I?
I think as a bonus action, you can take the dodge action.
I don't need to, but I was wondering about that in case I needed it later. Because I'm still low.
Also, doesn't make sense.
Take the dodge action.
Yeah, well, okay, so real quick.
Oh, wait, would that be...
Dodge, how it works is you take the dodge action on your turn, and then each enemy has a disadvantage on their attacks against you. So you can't, like, take a dodge reaction where, like,
gotcha.
you're, like, trying to Dark Souls roll out of the way. Okay. So you see them go and stab, thrust towards you. Both of them miss, and they just dive back into the water. And before either one of you can try and take an attack of opportunity against them, it seems as though when they're in the water, they're just too fast. As you try and like swing your sword or draw your short sword and take a swipe, it seems as though they're just too fast for you to hit.
Well, shit.
Careful through this area. Kind of like gesture to the rest of them. And stay away from the water. Going forward?
Noted. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
that's wise.
Okay. So you make your way across. So Sayla and Alec, you guys have made your way across the gap then, and you can see the statue, this one right here, and it is not a serpent statue. It was just the best one that I could find. But you see the statue of this large, this large, like, chunky fish creature, and there's this weird, like, slime, not like the gray ooze that you saw in that abandoned house, but just this like slime you would find on a slug that is just sort of covering this entire statue. And it's got this whip in one hand and this giant like trident in the other, and it's got this huge grotesque like saggy face and like 7 different chins of this fat fish-like creature standing on 2 legs as it just sort of stands there with its like jaw open, like yelling something. This seeming statue, this really gross fish creature. So you
Can I
guys see
clear
that.
the area for traps and make sure there's nothing around us besides the holes of water where shit can come at us?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Investigation. Investigation, my bad.
I'm going to make my...
All right. So yeah, investigation. Okay. So Al, as you are making your way across, trying to stay as much away from the water as you can, both of those fish-like creatures, they still jump out and jab their spears at you.
Okay.
So, boom. See if either one of those hit. 4 and a 7. Nope, neither one of those hit. So they each try and jab up at you, and... Oh, gosh. Okay, so they each jab up at you, but you are just too quick and too fast, and you sort of dodge out of the way of each one of the spear thrusts.
Okay.
And you make your way towards the other end. So, Sayla, you are able to see, not in your immediate vicinity, but about, let's see, 30 feet that way. You just barely catch it. On the ceiling over here, you can see that there is a, what is that? Oh, sorry, wrong thing. You see a wooden spiked, like bar hanging from the ceiling, right here.
Nice.
You can see it attached to the ceiling. It seems like it hasn't been triggered, and you can see a small tripwire on the ground, right in front of it.
Do I have a way of disarming that? Or do I not
yeah.
have that yet?
No, yeah, if you have your thieves' tools, you
Okay.
can try and disarm it.
Sweet. So, I'm gonna head over this way and try to disarm it before anybody accidentally bumps into it.
Okay, so go ahead and make a thieves' tools check. Might query you for like a type of roll. Oh gosh. Maybe if it does, just hit dexterity.
There it is. Oh, hello.
Hey, alrighty. Very good. So,
Nice.
using your thieves' tools, what you end up doing is you just kind of tinker around near the edges, and you take a small bit of like mud and dirt and stone and kind of work it in there to lock the mechanism, but you're able to remove the tripwire, so there's no chance of it accidentally going off with that stone locked inside. And in a moment of deft accuracy, only taking you a couple seconds to throw the stone in there, lock it into place, and then cut the tripwire, the trap has been safely disarmed. So I will go to token, and I will change this from a red circle to a green circle. It's been disarmed.
Can you take the dodge action as you're moving, or do you have to be, like, standing still?
No, you can just declare, I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that as I cross.
Okay, so as you do, they're still going to take 2 spear jabs at you, but each one is going to be with
Sure.
disadvantage. So we'll go
Some get
here.
like 5 net 20.
Wouldn't that be crazy? All right, disadvantage. So we got 2 spear attacks. Oh my god, are you kidding me? A 13 and a 14.
Oh yeah, it hits.
Gee, many crickets.
Oh no.
And then we hit what?
Jinxed it.
No sympathy, bitch. No sympathy.
Okay. So that is 7 points of damage. As each one, even though you are trying to pace yourself as quickly as you, as best as you can, you're just too out of it. You try and focus, but each jab jabs you, or each spear thrust jabs you, one in the calf, the other one in the thigh, just sort of poking you. You're able to make it across, but you are lightheaded and you are exhausted. So go ahead and move you over there as you make your way across.
I am going to healing hands myself for 2 whole hit points.
Whole hit points.
I mean, it's something.
And gosh, I don't know if I really want to blow this so early. But I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
Give myself some.
So, interestingly enough, aside from disregarding what the spell itself says, as you cast Armor of Agathis on you, expecting some type of crystalline, frozen armor, instead there are these like plates of this purple gas that just sort of form around your shoulders and chest and forearms and legs. And so, for Armor of Agathis, instead of giving you that and doing damage in terms of cold, it does poison damage.
Oh, okay then. But I got my 5 whole temporary hit points. It lasts for an hour, so I hope I didn't blow this too soon.
Alrighty. So now I will say, just because, you know, I don't want anybody. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, I was just gonna say that if at any point in time that you guys deem it as safe, you could also take a short rest. That is also an option.
We need it.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we? Because I hate. There's like it's so hard because this area is just not super safe. Yeah. Huddle near the gross statue and just kind of take shifts watching out while we kind of heal up.
Okay.
I'm going
Sorry,
to
Jamie.
try something to get through here because I'm like, don't like this.
Okay.
I am going to take the dodge action when I run through, but is there any like I'm presuming so. Is there any like rubble around me?
Oh yeah, there's tons of it. I mean, whether it's sticking out of the water or just in the stone path next to you, there's tons of just ruined, small to medium to large rocks and pieces of cobbled stone.
Just before I like leg it past this little thing, I'm gonna mage hand and like just launch something in the water and then just leg it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Okay, so the mage hand tosses it in the water, and there's this satisfying sploosh sound as it hits in there and pierces through the water. You run across, distracting. You can see the one as soon as the water hits, the spear comes out as you're not even there, and then you start to run. So the other one, he takes a jab out at you with disadvantage because of the dodge action that you took, and I would say since you guys didn't coordinate it, it'd be a little hard to
Right, never mind. He's already got disadvantage because of the dodge action. It's not like there's
Exactly.
anything else I can do. My bad.
Double advantage. Okay, so with that, that is a miss as he comes and tries to jab up at your thigh. You just sort of jump off to the side and make your way across the little gap here.
Cool.
Okay.
Once everybody's safely across, Alec is going to say, it may be wise before we continue forward for us to take a moment to collect our thoughts and heal ourselves. And when she says collect our thoughts, that is obviously directed to the two ladies. We'll stay away from the water, and we take it in shifts. I think we could rest shortly before we continue forward. I'm not sure any of us know what lies below here.
I can take first shift. I didn't last time, and I've got this to keep me company. And I tink the bottle.
No, that's fine. I'll just keep watch the entire time.
Thank you.
That okay. If you're sure.
I mean, I wasn't really hurt much at all.
Iris,
mean,
will you watch with him?
Yeah, I'm happy to keep you company. I mean, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Alright.
Before we do, though, I've already disarmed one trap. Let's try not to wander. I need to make sure we check before we go anywhere so we don't run into anything else.
It's fine.
All
If
right.
we're resting, could I have not blown my healing hands?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. So, the five of you, well, three of the five of you decide to take a moment just to breathe, to try and regain some composure, some stamina. So you can go ahead and roll hit die right now.
Where
Sorry,
is-
yours is wrong, Morganax. Let me go ahead and...
Yep, sure is.
Yeah. I don't know why it does that.
Where is
Die,
hit
D8.
die?
There you go. Underneath are temporary hit points. So if you just click on hit die, it'll automatically... Actually, before you do that, let me make sure that yours is right and not a D4. Okay, yeah, yours is right. So you can go ahead and roll yours again. I fixed it. There we go.
So I get hit 6 back?
Yep, and you can roll a second time if you... Oh, but never mind, you're at full anyway, with 6. All right.
And with that, I have got to go.
Yes, that is okay. Because two things happen during this this rest. So
X-Train again.
all of you, you are just kind of breathing, patching up wounds, trying your best to stay calm and relaxed. Alec, you sort of lean up against the back of this statue, and you just breathe, and you can see that there, without looking, you step into this small puddle, and there is this this little splash of water just from having stomped your foot a little bit, that splashes into you, and all of you looking around towards Alec, you can see that where the water hit her, it starts there, and so tattooed all over her arms and up her neck and around her body, the tattoos begin to glow almost, this light blue color all around her hands and fingers and body. And starting from where she is at, there are these illuminated runes that begin to glow in the ground, leading down the corridor. And
Like
as... Yep, and just continuing down and around into the darkness, and you can see the illumination continue to glow there. But as soon as that happens, Alec, as soon as you sort of take a look around and realize what's happening, you can hear this sloshing noise from the water as Al, right next to you, as Cyrus, as you and him are taking the watch, sort of keeping an eye at the end of this corridor, at the end of your watch, so hit points restored. There are these fish, those same fish-like creatures, now seeming to return in more numbers, as there's one right here who pops out, another one right here, a third one, and a fourth one, as they just slowly begin to climb, net in one hand, spear in the other, just as that like same sort of gelatinous slime sort of leaking out of this like disgusting sharp-toothed maw, similar to the statue that Alec, your back is up against. And as they begin to move forward, nets wanting to be thrown at you, we will go ahead and end our session there. But luckily, before we come back, all of you will be able to level up to level 3.
Woo!
Yay!
I forgot how to do that.
Wow.
So yeah, the easiest way
have to be made.
is to go to your character sheet and then hit the settings cog next to spells, and then hit oh wait, what the heck? Sorry, that was weird. And then level with Charactermancer. Launch level plus Charactermancer. And then that will walk you through leveling up and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll see next week what happens.
This is so exciting.
What happens here.
What fun.
Yeah, that's okay.
See you later, guys. Or talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah,
See
talk to
ya.
you later. Adios.